Alright, ladies and gents, as ever, my name is Shane, that's Shane's Games, and tonight we're playing Ace Attorney Investigations 2 for the Android. This is the fan-translated version. This isn't our first time playing it, so if you want to see how we got to where we are tonight, or check out some of the games I've played in the past, be them obscure, unusual, or nostalgic, feel free to check out my YouTube channel. But for tonight, let's go ahead and get into the game. Quick attempt at a recap. This game is getting mind-blowingly complicated. But I guess the very short version is we are on a film set right now where it appears the president of a foreign country has been murdered. And a Interpol agent who we've tangled with before suspects a judge that we know of the murder. And perhaps her young son, which seems crazy, but I suppose weirder things have happened in Ace Attorney. So we're gonna see if we can figure that out right now. Let's see. Yeah, we're at the end of the chapter right there. Let's see. Is Ace related to Meg Attorney? I have no idea, but like, I don't know. Do we know anything about Phoenix's family? I don't think he's ever mentioned having any family before. I'm trying to think, like, we know he wanted to be an art student and then for some reason didn't, and then somehow became an attorney, and I don't believe he got us proper certifications for that, but like, here we go. Quick recap, shit happened, edgy is edgy, still no sightings of Old Bag, thank God. Lots of kidnappings, and the early baddies Sebastian DeBest and Judge Courtney are now our buddies, I guess. I will say that yesterday the game did something I thought was impossible, which made me respect Sebastian. Like, I hated this dude so much, and then yesterday I'm like, yeah, you go, dude. And that wasn't something I was expecting, let me tell you that much. We did have two separate kidnappings, though, although the characters thought there was only one kidnapping, which was very confusing. He did have the Ancestors and Great Attorney series, that's true, I forgot about that one. Imagine being born into an attorney family and you don't want to be an attorney. That happens very commonly in media, at least. Let's see, the wiki says there is a passing mention of his mother and a long back ancestor. That's probably from the prequels as well. Interesting. I was just thinking, I'm like, does he have any siblings? I'm like, has he ever mentioned? So not much, I guess. That's weird. I mean, most of the, Edgeworth, we know a lot about his family and his past, but, like, Phoenix just doesn't really bring it up. Yeah, no siblings mentioned. Strange. Weird that the protagonist doesn't talk about his past very much when everyone else does. April 6, 2:52 p.m. outside Grand Tower. Temporary film lot. Could you please give it a rest already? The heck? I'm telling y'all, it's best for y'all to come clean. Staff has their lips sealed shut as the reporters continue their tenacious negotiations. If you're not here to cooperate with the investigation, I must ask you to vacate the premises. Put a sock in it, Copper! Y'all couldn't even stop Mozilla's invasion! For those of us just joining us, this is the news photographer Lotta Hart, who is convinced that a giant kaiju named Mozilla is responsible for the murder and also just rampaging around the city somewhere, despite the fact she hasn't actually seen him at any point. I don't know how this case is going to end, but I'm pretty sure not like that. Unfortunately, because that would be kind of cool. Look, Will Powers, you're a huge guy. Just kick all their butt. You should, please. Poor Phoenix, black sheep of the family for being a defense attorney. Disgusting. Well, we know his ancestor was a defense attorney, too. Mozilla? That would be pretty cool, too. I wanted my child to be a street musician, not a lawyer. I could see Phoenix playing jazz saxophone. That'd be amazing. Not only did they secretly raise a giant monster, but now the staff is trying to cover it up. Like I said, we haven't been raising any monsters here at the film lot. Well, y'all said you done so, but you said you done saw Gordy yourself? Sure, I saw it, but It's not like we were keeping it at the film lot. Also, she believes that she saw the Loch Ness Monster, or the Ace Attorney version of the Loch Ness Monster, which I don't think she did either. I'm pretty sure I know what she did see, but we'll get to that later. Hey, Kisso, welcome in. Thank you for the 40s. How are you doing today? I had Mozilla once, but I uninstalled it. I actually did call the monster Mozilla once yesterday, and then felt very silly. Oh yeah, Lada basically takes blurry pictures, then interprets them however she wants to, and then makes that her whole personality. It's very annoying. Oh, who do we got here? Oh god. This is a very crowded lot with a lot of characters that I'm going to have to remember how to voice. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth. And John. Oh, y'all come here to search for the monster too? We're searching for a criminal, not a monster. Lang Z says, the darkness inside a criminal's heart can be likened to a monster. Well, when it comes to killing people, criminals aren't much different from monsters. Agent Lang, this is a problem. I can't let outsiders enter the crime scene. These are all key figures in the case. I'd like them to be here when the investigation resumes. I don't know why this music is really loud in my headset. Agent Lang, regarding what you said about resuming the investigation, where do you intend to start? We'll start by reviewing the case. Oh, good, we get a recap in-game, too. I've grown to hate Lang Z over the course of the series. I like that the last time we saw Lang Z, we parted as friends, and then he's completely forgotten that, and now just hates us again. Relentlessly, no, we're literally just getting started, so you haven't missed anything today. Good timing. Today, the body of President Huang was found here at the film lot. The president's whereabouts from 2 nights ago are still unknown. It seems he snuck out from under the eyes of his bodyguards and ventured outside. And that night was the last time he was seen alive. It was when he met with you, Judge Courtney, on the roof of the Grand Tower. So, why did he meet with the president? So basically, just to recap what's the timeline here, 2 nights ago, this president guy met with her, Judge Courtney, on the rooftop of the nearby tower. However, we believe that the president was actually killed last night, not 2 nights ago. However, since she was the last person to see him, and he was killed in the vicinity of the place where they were meeting, like, he finds it very suspicious. That I cannot say. Can't tell us, even under suspicion of murder? Can't say. Why not? Miss Courtney, if you don't say anything, you'll only be more suspicious. Ha! She must have a reason to climb up. I think you're somehow involved in the president's assassination. Objection! There's way too many characters in this scene. The president's body was only discovered today. That still leaves a blank of 1 whole day after Judge Courtney met with him unaccounted for. Don't be so impatient. We're going to fill in that blank right here, right now. The evening on that blank day in question is what's important. What happened here last night? So, why don't you tell us, John Marsh? Yeah. We know you were here last night. What? John was here? Between that little Missy's testimony and the footprints we found, we can easily prove it. John, you were rehearsing here last night, right? You were spying on me? I'm sorry. I just came to check up on things. I really shouldn't be staying up so late, you know? Mind your own business. Whoa! What was that animation? John Marsh, that young lady was worried about you. You will not speak to her like that. Sorry. How many times have I told you to be more mindful of the way you speak? It's just just me, or does Miss Courtney's personality seem kind of different? Seems to be as strict with her own son as she is with those who violate the law. Is that milk perspiring? Yes, the milk is perspiring. Which is, maybe it's hot outside? I don't know why. The same thing with Shelly the Killer. Who has objects in his possession that just mimic what he's doing. Very weird. Sweaty milk! Oh god! I mean, there is that water brand called Pocari Sweat. So maybe they got into milk. Raw milk to— oh god! I have heard of the meat sweats. I've had the meat sweats. Are you listening to me? And earlier as well. And on they go. Thankfully we didn't have to listen to that whole thing. You should always bear that in mind, no matter the occasion. Can we get on with the investigation already? Ah, pardon me. Judge Courtney would get carried away like that. This must be her motherly side. Agent Lang, do you suspect John? All I want is the truth. Why was the president killed? And I want to know who killed him. I'll do whatever it takes to find out. Seems the president was like family to him. John, would it be alright if we asked you a few questions? Sure, it's fine. I've got nothing to hide anyway. Time to interrogate a child! Tropic Thunder booty sweat, oh god. Brooks, you had so much fried chicken on Saturday, tasty but regretted eating so much. I've been there. Why does that bribe work, Emperor? What the fuck? Emperor, thank you for the gift sub to Sweaty Milk. Who did that? Who did that? Who made that? Why? I have so many questions too. What's... Jesus. Thank you for the gift sub number 2017. That's a guy you don't want to meet in a dark alley right there. I feel strongly about that. Kellerman, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. I wasn't feeling too great during yesterday's shoot, so I made a few bloopers. They're reshooting the scene today, so... well, I decided to rehearse a little on my own, that's all. I do it all the time. There wasn't anything out of the ordinary. You were rehearsing alone that late at night? John, when I called you last night, you told me you were at the hotel. You called him? About what time was that? I believe it was around 11 p.m. I require him to call me every night. That's our rule whenever he stays away from home. The truth is, I was out at the film lot during that time. So you lied to me. I'm sorry. Miss Courtney sure is angry. I think it's admirable that he practiced on his own, even if he hid it from his mom. And I'm sure she was simply worried. Who knows what could have happened to him out alone so late at night. 13-year-old kid alone on an abandoned construction site at 11 at night. I'm sure he'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen? Step off your throne of lies. John going hard on that cow lifestyle. He's got a gimmick and he's pushing it as hard as it'll go. Kellerman taking a few days off to recharge. That sounds fantastic. I hope it works well for you. I hope you feel good after that. And in reality, he did get caught up in yesterday's incident. But John said there wasn't anything out of the ordinary, right? Is that really the truth? Well, here's the thing. Like, obviously they're telling me to go after that statement. So we're gonna press on it first, but I also have an idea. I also have an idea what we should be doing here.
Hold it!
There are no mistakes in that testimony, correct?
Of course there's no mistakes.
It's just a normal, peaceful night. Nothing out of the ordinary happened at all. A peaceful night? How can you say that when an incident like this occurred? It's the big city. Murders happen. Okay, he's still a child. Please don't get seriously angry. So, there was nothing out of the ordinary. He doesn't know anything at all about the incident. That's the impression I'm getting. But isn't there evidence that shows something did happen last night? Yes, I don't have time to waste dealing with a child's lies. Let's present the contradiction. Yeah, even Edgeworth is like, I don't have time for this, let's just get to the point. Well, if Edgeworth wants to get straight to the point, I'm down for it. To Iris Sebastian, to act bovine. The world doesn't have any normal peaceful nights. Alright, so, nothing out of the ordinary, but we have in our possession a tape of him doing the recording. And there's this big monster footprint there that wasn't there during the daytime. So that's weird if nothing else.
Objection!
Edgeworth is even smug at a child. There wasn't anything out of the ordinary. That's a lie, isn't it? We have evidence right here. Could that be? That's right. It's the video you recorded of your performance. What? You're telling me you have video from last night? Exactly. And in this video, there is clearly something that's out of the ordinary. I love that tape noise, it's so nostalgic. This is a monster's footprint. Would you say that monster's footprints are commonplace on a film set? I mean, if you're filming a monster movie, yeah. John, why did you conceal this video from us? No reason, really. Hey, pup! This is no joking matter. You had a reason to hide it, right? John Marsh, answer him clearly. But, Mom... Well? I didn't want anyone to see me rehearsing. I mean, makes sense, but it's not the answer Lang was looking for. But Mom! Hey, Sky, welcome in. How have you been, Sky? How's everything been going? But Valkos, there is no cow level. In other words, you're embarrassed about others seeing you practice. Yeah, got a problem with that? You're saying that's why you hid the evidence? John. Ah! Quit nagging me. You already busted me. What more do you want? Yeah, footprints were there, but I just practiced and headed home. How can be so calm after finding those footprints? It's a monster, you know? Real live monster. But it was just a part of the set. Besides, there's lots of other weird stuff around here, too. He's suspicious, Chief. This kid's really suspicious. You're right. Smell the scoop stinks to high heaven. Shut up. We're done talking.
Objection!
We're not done here yet. What now? The monster's footprints weren't the only unusual things that happened last night. Besides the monster's footprints, what other unusual thing happened? He's talking about the thing with the head? He might be talking about the thing with the head. I'm gonna double check. Actually, we haven't gone over our evidence today, so let's do that real quick. We have Kei's Yatagarasu badge, which we found a audio bug in it. We've got the mysterious letter that says it's from Kei, but she doesn't remember writing it. We've got the information about the black market auctions on the 51st floor of the tower. We have the murder, the actual body of the murdered victim, with the weird yellow stain on the chest and no other marks. We've got the giant cow footprints. We have the poster for Mighty Muzilla versus Gordy. We've We've got the combination lock that locks the front gate. We have the original Mozilla head, which appears to have fallen off the roof. We've got the Mozilla doll, which has an audio recorder in it. That seems to be a theme in this case. We've got the fan photo with the production assistant, the actor, and somebody in the Mozilla costume. We've got the video footage from the rooftop of the tower. And we've got testimony that the president didn't go through the storeroom 2 nights ago, that's going to be a problem. Alright, so I'm going to present the head.
Take that!
An audio bug? Was it the crunch? Please, no more crunch. I'm done talking. Objection! Alright, Sky, enjoy your lurk. It's the early mornings usually this week, but I'm doing overnights and I'm EP. Alright, get some great rest. And thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. A monster's head fell from the roof of that building. Surely you must have known about that. I don't know anything about it. Is that true? I told you, I just practiced a bit and then I went back. I don't know anything about Mozilla's head falling or anything like that. Or do you have evidence to show that I know something? There certainly isn't any evidence of that. Also possible that it fell after John had already gone back, which would help establish our timeline. If there's no evidence, then like I said, we're done talking. Seems that John doesn't really want to talk about last night. He'd be hiding something after all. We do know at the end of the tape John got called away by something, but we don't know what. Could have been the call from his mom, which would be handy because that would establish what time it happened. Wait up. Did you Lang? Hey, it's as I thought. Thank you, Mr. Prosecutor. This video backs up my logic. Huh? Is there something in the video that relates to the case? Yeah, take a good hard look at the monster costume in the top left. The Mozilla costume. Try comparing it with the one over there right now. Looks like it's just hanging there limply though. And the zipper on its back is zipped up tightly. Zipper on its back. Oh, the discrepancy is. You can see up there the zipper is open on the costume right there. And they haven't done any filming in between when this video was taken and now. If nothing else, that is actually suspicious. The other day I tried to tell my friend I was sleepy, but I accidentally typed Smeepy. And now I have him and a bunch of other friends who replace Sleepy with an EP with Smeepy. I would do that too, that's super cute. Yeah, the difference is plain to see. In the video, the zipper is clearly open. That's right, someone was inside. What? Mr. Powers, is the costume zipper usually? It's always zipped up tightly when it's not in use. Mr. Prosecutor, do you remember my logic from before? 2 nights ago, Courtney pushed the president off the roof and killed him. Afterwards, she snuck into the film lot to hide the body. In here. Wouldn't it be easy to hide a body in a costume or behind all this equipment? Oh, he did say that yesterday. Then all she had to do last night was retrieve the body. You're saying the body was hidden inside the costume, except the reason we shot you down yesterday is because Courtney had no way to get inside the lot yesterday, which still holds. Yeah, that's right. Judge Courtney, 2 nights ago, you pushed the president off the roof of the tower. You then hid the body inside the monster costume. I did no such thing. Say what you want, but you're the only one who could have done it. That should have already been proven impossible. The film lot was locked at the time. Judge Courtney could not have entered this place. And what if there was an accomplice? What? I'll tell you my reasoning, so listen up. Oh no, I know what he's gonna say. When the president was pushed off the roof, John was waiting at the film lot. If John was an accomplice, the problem with the locks would be resolved. Two of them then hit the president's body, inside that monster costume over there. You think this crime had such an elaborate plan? Take the life of a nation's president. An elaborate plan is to be expected, don't you think?
Elva
John would never take part in such a crime.
Not so fast!
You're the one being suspected. Your words don't carry much weight. I wouldn't think those two had sufficient motive for something like this, though. Well, maybe they had a motive that we don't know about. You were the last one to meet with the president, and you're still keeping the details secret. Don't you think it's only natural that you're being suspected? Honestly, yeah, but it's very Ace Attorney for people to be like, I know I'm going to go to jail, but I'm still not going to tell you anything. Sometimes you're too sleepy to type and can't spell. Oh, was it Ron Farr that said Sleepy BB? I think it might have been. God, that game's translation was unhinged. I mean, I agree that, like, suspecting a 13-year-old child of colluding in the murder of a president is a little weird. I don't think John killed anybody. Judge Courtney, is there no way for you to tell us your secret? My apologies. I just cannot, no matter what. However, when the time I can talk about it comes, I will surely let you know. So, if you could please... Believe you? Is that what you wanted to say? That's what all criminals say. And you, pup, if you've got an explanation, hurry up and spit it out. I didn't do nothing. That's all I'm saying. Oh, thanks for helping, John. I appreciate it. Both mother and son won't talk. You still gonna defend him like this? It's true, Judge Courtney's actions are a mystery. However, we still don't know whether or not that ties in with a motive for murder. Yeah, that's right. Their motive for murder can wait. For now, let's talk about the situation surrounding the crime. And the fact that these two are the only ones who could have done it. I mean, it's a classic Ace Attorney situation where I'm like, I don't believe he's right, but also things aren't adding up. Let's see. When the president was pushed off the roof, John was waiting at the film lot.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, don't tell me you're saying John was an accomplice. John still looks like a grade school kid. He's even got a kitty backpack to boot. How could he be an accomplice? There's just no way. Like I said, John's already in middle school, and the backpack is a part of his costume.
Not so fast!
Lang Z says, no matter how young the cub, never pity an ungrateful pup. Maybe a little brat, but a villain deserves no mercy. Mr. Lang Z didn't make any allowances for age. Mr. Prosecutor, you're not just defending him because he's a pup, are you? Of course, that was never my intention. I shall present suitable evidence in due course. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. My logic's just getting started. If John was an accomplice, the problem with the locks would be resolved, which is true. I'm not even going to bother pressing on that right now. Two of them then hit the president's body.
Hold it!
Supposing those two were accomplices, why would they have needed to leave the body hanging there for an entire day?
Not so fast!
Why don't you give it a rest and take a good hard look at reality? Thanks to their trickery, our investigation has been confused up till then. Doesn't that about answer your question? Got it. Those two hid the body. He's basically saying their whole reason to do it was to blur the timeline. Inside that monster costume over there.
Hold it!
In the video, we cannot see the inside of the costume. So can you really say for certain that the body was placed inside? Yeah, I'll give you that much. In that case, why don't we try examining it? The inside of that costume. There might be some traces left inside. Mr. Powers, may we examine the inside of the costume? Sure, go ahead. But It might be kind of stinky since I sweat a lot in there. I have heard stories about the inside of kaiju costumes, and it sounds like a nightmare. This is incredibly dirty. That's strange. We always make sure to clean it after using it, so that the sweat doesn't damage the costume. Isn't this just proof that someone besides you used this costume? I'd say that dirt from the body probably got inside the costume. The president's body did fall on top of the monster's footprint. That must be where the dirt came from. Are you satisfied now? The dirt inside the costume, it must have gotten there when the body was hidden inside.
Hold it!
So dirt got into the costume when the body was hidden inside. Wouldn't that mean that the dirt was transferred from the body? Ha! Isn't that obvious? How else would you say it got there? Dirt's stuck everywhere inside the costume. Looks particularly bad around the chest area. Dirt around the chest. Cannot overlook this fact. Mr. Lang's logic does seem to make sense. Indeed, if those two were accomplices, the crime certainly would have been possible. So it would have been useless to argue that point. In that case, what should we do? Firstly, we should have Agent Lang explain his reasoning in more detail, which we did, to draw out more information. Alright. So, since there's dirt in the costume, it must have gotten there when the body was hidden inside. I think I see the problem there. You're gonna find a cheap gaming capture card via Amazon. Alright, good luck, good luck. Yeah, the people who work in kaiju suits, like they're doing incredible work, and they put up with so much horrible shit. Yeah, the president's body didn't have any dirt on the chest. It had this weird yellow stain. And we didn't see any of that inside the costume. Hey, Shenanigan, what's up? Like that blue emote right there, very classy.
Objection!
Dirt got onto the costume when the body was hidden inside it? Is that really the case? You have a problem with that? There is a fair amount of dirt inside the front of the costume. Yeah, that is a lot of dirt. However, I would like you to focus on the state the body is in. It's lying on top of the dirt, and yet there's no dirt on the front of the body. If the body really was inside the costume, and it's strange that the front of the body isn't stained with more dirt. Well then, how would you explain it? How did the dirt get inside the costume? In the video footage, it's very likely that someone was inside the costume. Just who could it have been? Where have I seen this? What's the matter, Kay? I just feel like I remember seeing something that looked like this dirt somewhere before. So have we... where was it? There were these bits of gray fragments mixed in with the dirt. Gray fragments? There does seem to be something other than normal dirt mixed into it. Something must have gotten stuck to it, and lots of it, I might add. Something got stuck to it. This may merit a closer look. Where did we see dirt that looks like what's stuck on the inside of this costume? We saw those weird gray flecks on the gloves we found at Sebastian's dad's house. Interestingly. Oh, good morning, Shenanigan. Glad to have you with us. And Falls, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hooded Whalehog, good to see you. I hope everything's going good for you this week.
Take that!
This dirt has some gray bits mixed into it. Huh? And what of it? We found an item belonging to a certain man that was covered in the same type of dirt. That is to say, these gloves. Dirt stains certainly look the same. But tell me, just what exactly is this gray substance? Gray substance is... Their substance must be fragments of concrete, which we did find quickset concrete inside of his garage. You mean stuff that was scattered all around the monster's footprints? Exactly. Meanwhile, what do these gloves, which are stained with the same kind of dirt, belong to? Oh, I remember. We found it at Blaze's place. Earlier today, we went to Blaze's garage. There, we discovered these dirt-stained gloves. Come to think of it, there were also hammers, shovels, and other tools placed inside as well. Why would mechanics gloves intended to be used on machines be covered in dirt? If you broke the concrete with a hammer and then dug into the soil with a shovel, it's only natural for dirt like that to get on the gloves. Then maybe? Yes, the true nature of the monster's footprints has been made clear. It's possible that these footprints were dug up by Blaze DeBest himself. It's possible? It's possible, you say? Please do enlighten me. Because I honestly have no clue. Why on earth would he do something like that? Why did he make the monster's footprints? Thinking about it, the answer must be... I think he was digging something up? I don't think it would make sense if he buried something. Let's see. Getting through the week? That's good, that's good. Possible he was digging something up. Probably went something like this. Last night at this spot there was something that Blaze needed to dig up. For that reason, he broke the lock on the back door and sneaked into the film lot. Using the hammer and shovel, he set to work. He placed the items he dug up into his bag, but before he could fill those holes... Ah, that's when John came to practice! Exactly. Blaze panicked and had no choice but to hide himself inside the Mozilla costume nearby. I think you could do so much from just a pair of dirt-stained gloves. However, all of this is merely a possibility. There's still no proof that he was the one who was hiding inside that costume. For all we know, he might have left the scene once he finished digging. Yeah, this song is one of my favorite ones. Like the big gotcha songs in the series are always the best ones, I think. On the contrary, such proof does exist and can be seen in the video. When this video was recorded, Blaze was definitely inside the film lot. What? Well, I can't blame Agent Lang for not noticing. The difference between the current film lot and the one in John's video, along with the state of Blaze's garage. All too clear that Blaze was still here. Oh, I see it now. What proves that Blaze was still at the film lot when this is recorded? Right here.
Take that!
I didn't notice that. Oh, I saw it in the video the first time. I didn't make the connection to Blaze before. Listen to a lot of reggae when you hit the gym. Hey, whatever gets the job done when you get to the gym, that's the important thing. Whatever gets you moving. This bag placed near the costume. There was an identical one inside Blaze's garage. First, the dirt on the gloves, and now the bag. Seems there is a connection. Worn by Blaze DeBest when he dug the monster's footprint-like holes. Interesting. And that's my proof. Blaze was inside the costume. Ergo, the president's body could not have been hidden inside it. Seems I was able to refute Agent Lang's reasoning. Someone needs to investigate Blaze's house right away, pal! We need to know what was inside that bag! Yes, sir! Y'all pipe down and listen up. Y'all just been saying whatever works best for y'all. And the noisy one returns. That there's the footprints of the mighty Mozilla. They ain't just some random holes dug up by that old coot. I believe the true nature of these footprints has already been proven quite logically. Logic Smudge, I ain't buying it. Say what you want, but I know what I saw, and I saw Mozilla. You're referring to how she saw Mozilla out the window of the Grand Tower. Preposterous. What's in the bag? Show him the bag! Yeah, Blaze has a lot of time on his hands, despite the fact that he should be busy all the time. Upon our journal of souls, we ain't having none of it. This statement is an insult to journalists everywhere. Ah, that's right. There's more to them monsters than just those footprints. I remember hearing that Sunny over here was seen with a monster earlier. I reckon that gal over there said she witnessed it herself. When those two are together, all meaningful talk grinds to a halt. Only we knew just what the monster really was. I think those two would quiet down. Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there anything you can do? I knew it would come to this eventually, and I do know what she saw, so let's get that done. Monster's true identity. We don't have much choice. Let's do what we can. Let's see what we can do. Is there something y'all ain't telling us about the monster? Nicole, ask him. Ask him right now.
Hold it.
Please settle down. Regarding the true identity of that monster, I already know what it is. What'd you say? That's right. The video John recorded provided the hint that I needed. What you talking about? Ms. Nichols saw Gordy when she went to check up on John's practice. At that time, she mistook something for Gordy. The monster can be seen in this photograph. What? Ain't that just some plain old souvenir photo? Y'all don't really think you can pull the wool over the eyes of a pro like me, do you? Hopefully you folks have figured it out by now. I've been waiting for this for quite some time. I'm glad they slipped that line in there, Rooks. Right here.
Take that.
Naturally, Gordy's true identity was this camera crane. What? The video John recorded was shot from fairly high up. A shot from this position would be impossible without a camera crane. But there ain't no way Miss Nichols would mistake a camera crane for Gordy.
Objection.
I wonder about that. Ms. Nichols? Yes. Earlier, you said the prescription for your glasses didn't match your eyesight anymore, correct? Yes, lately it seems like my eyesight has suddenly gotten a lot worse. So, would you say that you weren't able to see Gordy very clearly in the dark? And that's right. The silhouette was all I could make out. But remember what Miss Nichols said? And I quote, its skin was really scaly, almost like a reptile. Camera cranes ain't got no flesh on them, let alone skin. It's just a bare steel frame. That is certainly true, at least in the case of this photo. However, last night it did have skin. I'll just doing whatever you can to be in the way of our big scoop, ain't you? It was not my intention. But, since I've come this far, it's time to put an end to your nonsense. Gordy's skin is right before our very eyes. This is what I was waiting for. Oop.
Take that.
Gordy is really craney? The twist of the century. As Miss Nichols stated in her testimony earlier, it looked like it was going to rain last night. While it never actually rained, John still covered the camera crane with a rainproof sheet, which, to Ms. Nichols, looked like a monster's skin. What? I forgot about the bear trap going off. You gotta be kidding me. Isn't that right, John? Man, you saw through it all. Not bad, old man. Unfortunately, the Gordy that Miss Nichols saw was nothing more than illusion. Not again. Looks like my dream has shriveled up and died once again. Mentor. Cut, scene, and print. Yeah, that bow is so great. The breakdown animations are always my favorite. Seems like things have finally settled down. I really thought the boy was hiding something from me. Guess I had it all wrong. Now that we figured out the true form of the monster, everyone seems refreshed. Actually, there's two people here who are totally bummed out. Agent Lang! The report is in, sir. We've got the results of President Huang's autopsy. Yeah, I love this series. This series makes me so happy. We're definitely going to continue with the series after this one. Contusions and bone fractures found across the body, resulting from tremendous pressure. So, this was the cause of death. In other words, he was crushed to death. I thought as much. Alright, so he didn't fall off the building like we said. He is very punchable, it's true. Are you gonna play the official release next? I have been reading about the official names and stuff, but no, we're not doing that. Next one in release order, I believe, is Apollo Justice. The perfect question for Edgeworth right there. Death by smoosh. The yellow stain on his chest is currently under investigation. But it seems that gunpowder residue was found in his right hand. Sunflower residue? I didn't know the president was into gardening. No, gunpowder residue. Traces of it are left behind when a gun is fired. This has been found on his right hand. It's possible that the president fired a gun. Gun, huh? We didn't find any guns when we investigated the area. Explained gunpowder residue. I'll have to look over the autopsy report later. Now then, Agent Lang. Seems we have our answer. The president did not die from falling off the roof of the Grand Tower. Rather, he died from being crushed under Mozilla's head. I can't deny it. Looks like your logic was right after all. This means the suspicions surrounding Miss Courtney should be cleared up, right? Yes. Not only the cause of death, but the time of death proves her innocence as well. Judge Courtney met with the president 2 nights ago. However, according to the autopsy report, the time of death was around 11 p.m. last night. Mozilla's head also fell last night. Matches up perfectly. That's a relief. Isn't it a bit too early to be relieved? Agent Lang? The president died after being crushed by the Mozilla's head. That I will admit. The problem is, who is responsible for the falling head? Mozilla's head fell last night, and last night, the one who was at the film lot was... What are you saying? Surely you're not implying... That's right, you killed him, didn't you? John Marsh! Oh, we're going back to blaming the child. Didn't we just establish Blaze was on the film lot? Yeah, Edgeworth did do some real bullshit in the early Ace Attorney games. It's true. German has a form of ER, which can often mean someone was killed by the way of the verb. Oh, but that would mean extort. That's an interesting coincidence there. I wonder if that is a coincidence or if there's a different root there. I love histories of words. It's so fascinating to me. Yeah, everyone wants to blame this kid. I don't know why. No one has any motive yet. And every time we press Lang about motive, he's like, I'll figure that out later. Don't worry about it. Because for some reason, while the defense needs to know motives, the prosecution doesn't. Ugh. Yeah, no juice boxes in jail, kid. That pup is hiding something. He was at the scene where the body was discovered last night. He also saw the footprints. And despite that, he still claims to know absolutely nothing about the incident. Isn't that a bit too convenient?
Objection!
Those footprint-shaped holes have not been proven to be related to the case. Just because he saw the holes doesn't necessarily mean he's involved in the incidents.
Knuckle back!
You sure about that? Take a look at the pup's face. He looks pretty shaken up to me. Like he hit the mark. John doesn't want to talk about it. If he doesn't feel like talking, then I have an idea of my own. Let's check the tape. Agent Lang, what is your intention? The police have a device that lets you analyze the video footage up close and personal. Zoom enhance! Agent Lang, you would suspect John enough to go that far? As long as John's lips are sealed. It's maybe the only way for us to get closer to the truth. Detective Gumshoe, if I'm not mistaken, you have that device with you, correct? Mr. Analysis is ready to go, sir! Now we're talking. Prosecutor Edgeworth, would you please perform the video analysis for us? Wants me to do it? Who knows what kind of faults that Wolfman will find in it? Isn't exactly my strong suit, but I suppose I have no choice. Are there any new clues shown in the video? Alright, let's see what we got here. I mean, caught up on shit. Now, if someone called me a pup, that would be pretty weird to me, too. How did Judge Courtney become the mother of a demon child? To gain something through the verb. Alright, gotcha. Oh, relentlessly. Edgeworth does have a very good arc through the games, I'll admit that. Pardon my ignorance, but how long have you been standing in that lot? Probably about an hour at this point. We were in the courtroom before this, though. Deviant Fish, welcome in. How are you doing today? Yeah, Blade Runner style image stuff. You gotta love it. All right. Zoom. Don't see anything crazy there. How about over here? Whoa! 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 Alright, nothing over there. Nothing over there. We're just moving on. Let's check over here. Oh, hey, look at that hole. That's pretty interesting. That's probably evidence, right? Yeah. Yeah, look at that evidence. There's like a spot right there. That's probably important. Let's talk about the spot. Let's all talk about the spot right here. Let's just talk about the spot. It's all fine. Actually, let's look over here, too. What's that? Oh, it's all in shadow. Oh, it's all in shadow. That's crazy. Oh, man, anything can be over here. Just anything. Anything at all. Oh, oh God. Oh. What the fuck? Oh, Jesus. I don't know what I was expecting, but, I don't know, I thought we were gonna forget where the yellow powder came from. Or maybe see like a trail of broken concrete or something. She installed like somebody's car. I haven't heard that one, Rooks, but I'm gonna steal that. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Okay, alright. Alright, let's get weird. So if we zoom in on this corner, some really fucked up shit becomes apparent.
Eureka!
This is... What's the matter? I want to see too. Huh? Ah! Hey, what's wrong? Show it to me. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I request you submit the evidence to the court. Please take a look at the top right corner of the zoomed in video. This person is the president! Impossible. Huh? No way! Seems we finally found it at last. The evidence that points to the true killer. This video places John at a major disadvantage. You're wrong. That's not right. I don't know anything about this. That's not gonna cut it. It's clear that you and the victim were together at the same place where the body was later found. John Marsh, there's no doubt you killed the president. No, this can't be. Why would you? John, please don't tell me. Did you really kill the president? No mother should ever be asking that. Oh, her name is Courtney. She has a pretty good name in the official Capcom translation too, though I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. I remember when I was looking at the official Capcom names, hers was my favorite. Gaia Shield, welcome in. Emotional damage. Mr. Edgeworth, is this really decisive evidence? Mr. Prosecutor, looks like even you can't object to this. That pup said he didn't know anything, right? And yet, the president's right there in the video. John, what are you hiding? Verity Gavel, thank you, Kissa. Yeah, I like that name a lot. I mean, she got the gavel, so it's maybe a little bit on the nose, but like it fits. I could see her as a Verity Gavel. Hooded Whale Hog, thank you for checking that as well. I appreciate that. Yeah, out of all the Capcom names that I saw, I haven't checked for this chapter yet, but I like hers. Yeah, Verity also has the Ruth in Veritas, Truth, so that makes sense too. Like, Capcom's in-house translation team is really good at what they do. I always mention it when I play these games. I read an interview with the lead of the Ace Attorney translation team, and she was talking about all the challenges they've had with the series and all the way they go about making decisions. And I thought it was really fascinating. And also, every time I mention, wow, the Ace Attorney games have a really good translation, somebody always brings up Japanifornia and Eat Your Burgers. Here's the one thing I want to clarify. The first Ace Attorney game was translated by a third party, and Capcom wasn't happy with that, which is why the rest of the Ace Attorney games have been done in-house. However, they decided to make everything that was translated in the first game canon, so they've just been running with what happened in there, which I think is really interesting. The French one is Justine Delcourt, which sounds like Justice of the... Oh, that's good too! I like that. The truth is, it's all my fault. John Marsh, what did you do? Oh, good, we've gotten to the part where the person who didn't do the murder thinks they did the murder, and then just sort of lets them get run over. Mozilla's head falling. It was all my fault. Oh, God. While I was setting up the equipment on the roof, I used the heater. After that, I went down to practice, but I forgot to turn it off. Then my mom called me, so I left the film on. When I came back to the lot after the phone call was over, Mozilla's head that was on the roof had fallen. And right next to it was the president, lying dead on the ground. How can that be? I see. There were indeed traces that something had caught fire on the rooftop. Oh, God damn it, it just locked up on me. Alright, hang on a second, I gotta... Luckily, this game seems to have a pretty good autosave system. So we're gonna have to back out and come back in. Occasionally it does lock up, unfortunately. Which is one of the many reasons I've said, if you want to get this game, just get the official release. Just go ahead and get the official release. Save yourself a lot of trouble. In-game cliffhanger. I mean, to be fair, we've been playing this game for a very long time, and I think that's only the third time it's locked up on us. It's not too bad. And now it's having capture issues. There we go. So we literally lost 0 progress. It actually auto-saved at the moment we crashed. So yeah, we're good. We're good. John, did you kill the president again? It was just a small fire, so I was able to put it out myself. So we actually saw the fire on the rooftop. That's a problem. So, the president's death was John's fault? But wouldn't that make this an accident, sir? Then, what did you do with the fallen head? I took it apart, brought the pieces to the roof, and put it back together. So you put out the fire, and you even put the fallen head back on the roof. Which means you were hiding evidence. We can't be having that, you naughty little pup. Someone out there just discovered some things about themselves. I didn't do it on purpose. I really did just forget to turn off the heater. When the legs broke, the stand would have tilted. If Mozilla's head was on top of the stand, it would have fallen off. So the head fell down because of the fire. Yes, and if that's the case, I also have a pretty good idea what caused the fire. There's a flammable can next to the heater. And someone is lacking in safety awareness. Where is your OSHA now? John, that kills presidents! Was it really just an accident? If that's the truth, then what was the president doing here? I don't know. There was no one else around when I was there. You expect me to believe that? The president wouldn't have just come to a place like this without a reason, you know. Indeed, the president's reason for coming here is still a huge mystery, although we do know that he was a big fan of Mozilla, so there's that at least. Apologies relentlessly. Yeah, hey Lang, can we talk about motive? Oh, have you heard of it? The M word you don't like so much? Please? 2 nights ago, he met with Judge Courtney on the roof of the Grand Tower. And last night, he was here at the film lot. Did he meet with John? I'll have to listen to John's testimony very carefully. While I was setting up the equipment on the roof, I used the heater. After that, I went down to practice, but I forgot to turn it off. My mom called me, so I left the film lot. I came back to the lot after the phone call was over. Mozilla's head that was on the roof had fallen. And right next to it was the president, lying dead on the ground. Hang on, right next to it? It was a little suspicious. It'd be pretty scary to see a corpse just suddenly appear out of the blue like that. Not to mention the fallen monster head lying next to the body. Panic would certainly be an understandable response to such a situation. Yeah, but still, all things considered, this was just an accident, right? Indeed. That is, if we decide to take John's words at face value. Mind having some more concrete details on the state of the crime scene. Yeah, we need to get some clarification on a couple of these right here. Yeah, man really wants this kid gone. I like how he's like, I'll avenge the president's murder. And then he's like, you, first person I bumped into. You did it, you're going to prison. Like, it doesn't count as revenge if you just hit it on somebody and then be like, all right, job done. Just a happy little accident. All right, so while we were setting up the equipment on the roof, he used the heater. John, you're still young. I know it can get a little cold in early spring, but you shouldn't have to resort to a heater. It is precisely because he is young that he must make sure to take good care of himself. However, while I can get a bit chilly during this time of year, I wouldn't necessarily... Why are we doing this? Hey, Moss! Welcome in, Moss. How are you doing today? How was your stream? What were you doing today? Tell me everything. And for anybody that doesn't know me, my name is Shane. That's Shane's Games. I play the obscure, the unusual, and the nostalgic. Today we're playing Ace Attorney Investigations 2. We're playing the fan-translated Android version. Welcome in, everybody. How are you doing? Moss, welcome in. How was your stream? What were you doing today? I would love to hear. Game Dev Jeff, welcome in. Hope you're doing good. It's an AOL nightmare. I feel good that I'm one of the last generations that has memories of having to remembering covering my modem with a bunch of like hooded sweatshirts, so when I wanted to play Tribes 2 in the middle of the night, the modem wouldn't wake up my parents. It's a weird thing to remember. Today was Tackle It Tuesday, aka I have chores to do and things to complete. Body doubling helps, so I rely on chat to do tasks alongside me. Body doubling helps me too. I found that's a really important thing. So I hope it worked well for you. After raid, run, and lurk to get ready for therapy lessons. All right, thanks for being a community buy. I appreciate it. Hope you got a lot done today. I hope your therapy session goes well, and we will see you around. Time for Australians to head to bed. Have a good stream. Thank you, Game Dev Jeff, and thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Valkos, you love Tribes 2. That was my first ever. Online game that I ever played. I played a lot of that back in the day. Once I got the hang of what do they call it? Skiing? Oh man, that was a fun movement tech. They need more games that have that in it. Gentleman Jay, welcome in. Thank you for joining the raid. How are you doing today? I'm surprised we don't have other games that have that kind of movement style. That was so fun. Also, originally a unintended consequence of their movement engine. Like that was technically a bug, and then they saw how everyone was using it, and they're like, all right, yeah, we'll leave that in there. Groovy, good to hear, good to hear. Hold it, old man. Is this really the right time to be having this argument? No, it's not. She's completely right. John, you did well to get the better of Mr. Edgeworth. Please mind your language. Don't forget that he got the better of you too, Your Honor. I know, Mom. So, where was I? That was a very old people argument right there. John, don't touch the thermostat. But he's young. Nothing like a good Tuesday objection. I love this series. Next, you're gonna hear Edgeworth telling people to get off his lawn. So after that, he went down to practice, but he forgot to turn it off. The milk sweating is concerning, definitely. Although if you have a cold drink outside on a hot day, it will. Although they just said it's cold outside, so yeah, milk should not be sweating. Has Courtney ever bonked anyone with that gavel? She hasn't, but she's kind of threatened to obliquely.
Hold it!
I forgot to turn off the heater. You didn't check it before leaving the roof? I meant to turn it off, but I was too focused on practicing, so... Come on, everybody forgets stuff like that sometimes. Yeah, I gotcha. I forget small things like that all the time, too. Like, sometimes I'll forget to turn off the AC or the lights in Mr. Edgeworth's office. Or I'll jump off the ladder for his bookshelves or leave prank calls on his answering machine. But forgetting to turn off the heater is really dangerous, so you gotta be careful. Some of those things had nothing to do with forgetfulness. John, please continue. Oh, she accidentally left prank calls on his answering machine. I do that all the time, accidentally. Gentleman Jay, thank you for the follow, I appreciate that. It's a stepladder game. Why is that a running gag? Looks like you've got it rough too, old man. Well, back to my story. Alright, so then his mom called him and I left the film on. This is where I start wanting to get some more details here. One does not simply accidentally leave prank calls. I guess Kay might.
Hold it!
It was late at night at the film lot. Not a single member of the film crew was around. So then, why did you have to leave the premises in order to answer the phone call? I totally forgot about the phone call thing, so I kind of panicked. If I didn't answer it fast, it would have been busted for leaving the hotel without permission. In that case, why didn't you just answer it here? Because I was rehearsing. All the cameras and mics were on. I talked here. Every last word I said to Bob would have been caught on camera. So he was embarrassed that the conversation with his mother would be recorded. It is basically poison to a small child to hear other people say, "Love you, Mom," past a certain age. Anyways, I stopped practicing for a bit and rushed out of the film lot. Oh, you just got the patch mod? I'll warn you, applying the patch on the Android version is a nightmare. I don't recommend it. I really do recommend getting the official version if you can. Alright, so we came back to the lot after the phone call was over.
Hold it!
In that phone call, you lied and said you were at the hotel, correct? Why didn't you tell Mom that you were rehearsing? I told her that. She would have called the hotel and made him send me a taxi or something. Of course I would have. A child alone on the streets at that time of night? What sort of parent would allow their child to be in such a dangerous situation? These kids just don't understand how their parents feel. It goes both ways, Mr. Edgeworth. Indeed. Now then, John, please tell us what happened after the phone call. Alright, Punisher, I hope you got some tasty food there. That's a good thing, at least. Yeah, of course. When the call was finished and I came back here, Muzilla's head that was on the roof had fallen. Ooh, that sounds really nice, Punisher. Was there any indication that the head was about to fall? I don't know. I was focused on my rehearsal. So you forgot to turn off the heater, which led to a fire on the roof. I think you should have at least heard something. Heard something? Oh, I was wearing headphones, so... Headphones. Listening to the movie's soundtrack helps me get into the scene. I had it on full blast. That's why I didn't hear anything. And yet you noticed your mother's incoming call. I had my phone on vibrate, old man. That's how I noticed. Anyways, the head had fallen. That could be something to remember for later. Right next to it, the president lying dead on the ground. What was the state of the body? I didn't get a good look because it was dark. Suddenly become as quiet as a mouse. I guess John doesn't really want to remember anything about the body. Not the only reason why he's gone so quiet. Should I press him for more details? Yeah, we should. You didn't get a good look, but how did you know he was dead? Well... It's clearly shaken. Must be hiding something. Wouldn't you normally call for help if you see someone collapsed on the ground? However, you did nothing of the sort. But he was already dead. Is that so? I'm quite certain that the president was already dead. Now, is there a reason for that, I wonder? The guy was collapsed on the ground, and right next to him was the fallen monster's head. I'm not stupid. It wasn't hard to imagine what happened. You can imagine whatever you want, but there was no way for you to know he was dead. You actually checked to make sure the president was dead, didn't you? Yeah, that's right. I was scared, but I got up close to the body and I checked to see if he was breathing. I thought as much. However, why would he hide that? There must be a reason. Please tell me the state of the body at that time. At first, I didn't know he was dead. I would have realized sooner if there'd been any blood. But there wasn't a single drop, and his clothes were completely spotless. Either way, he wasn't breathing. That's how I knew he was already dead. Would you please append those statements to your testimony? There was no blood and his clothes were spotless. That's interesting. Because when we found the body, there was that weird yellow stain on his clothes.
Objection!
I love the press icon too. I just like pressing it. His clothes were spotless. Yeah, that's right. You got a problem with it, old man? John, it is painfully obvious that you are desperately trying to hide something from me. What are you going to do about it? I'm not hiding anything. You're hiding something about this yellow stain on the president's clothes, correct? Did I see there was more milk in his backpack? That's excessive. Why did you leave it entirely out of your testimony? fact you made no mention of it only serves to cast more suspicion on yourself. That's because... I hope you have a convincing explanation. Judge Courtney? Allow me to explain. Why are you... Yellow stain left on the president's chest is almost certainly lion lily pollen. Lion lily? When I met with the president on the roof of the Grand Tower 2 nights ago, I brought him a bouquet of lion lilies. Lion lilies are beautiful flowers with stunning golden petals. Some of the pollen from the lilies must have gotten on the president's suit. Huh? But I didn't see any lilies in the security footage, though. They were simply obscured by the president's body. Oh, because we can't see Courtney's hands there. Why did you bring a bouquet? That I cannot say. Oh, good, we're back to this. I can give you one new detail, but then I'll clam up again. The literal definition of milk drinker by Elder Scrolls standards. Thankfully, we don't have any Skyrim guards around to be a bit jerk to him. No, you can't tell Mom I put mustard on my hot dog when I check the body. That's what I always do when I'm checking to see if somebody's still alive. I gotta garnish my hot dog at the same time. How are you doing today, Troy Dog? I mean, you know, she gave him a bouquet. It's possible, I suppose. Hey, you're keeping way too many secrets. Agreed. You won't tell us why you met with the president or the reason you brought him flowers. My apologies. However, I did give him the bouquet. That much is true.
Objection!
When the president's body was discovered, we didn't find any flowers. I honestly don't know how that could be. Ha! I'm his judge. All your answers have been too vague. You can't say this and don't know that. Do you accept flimsy testimony like that in your trials? Hey, cut it out! John! I threw the flowers away. You threw them away? So there were flowers near the body when you found it. Yeah, that's right. They were right on top of the president's body. They'd been crushed as flat as pancakes, though. Ah, I see. So the flowers were squashed by Mozilla's head, too. A large amount of pollen got stuck to the president's suit. Seems to be the gist of it. However, why did you go out of your way to dispose of the flowers? No reason. Is it because he knew his mom gave it to him? John's not going to tell us anything else either. I guess mother and son both have a lot of secrets, huh? That is not true. At the very least, I can tell you why John threw away those flowers. Oh good, sure, just tell us about each other since neither of you were talking. Huh? John, you saw me leaving the house with those flowers in hand, did you not? Ah, I get it. John saw the flowers and thought of his mom. Threw them away in order to protect Judge Courtney from being suspected. That's not true. You're all wrong. That was his worst lie yet. Alright, new evidence. Flimsy is a good word. I like it. Like, it brings to mind, like, wet cardboard for me. Hey, Nano! Welcome in, and thank you for a 45-month resub. That's a lot of months! I appreciate that, Nano. Thank you very kindly. Let's see. I missed that. What was he the president of? Zhengfa, which is, I think, sort of the Ace Attorney version of China. No, it's a small country. Yeah, we know it's a small Asian country. We've heard it mentioned at the end of Ace Attorney 1, and we met the president at the beginning of this game as well, when someone tried to assassinate him, but now they actually finished it. Oh no, Nab, that can't run. I'm sorry. Alright, I have to blow my nose real quick. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, folks. Yeah, Marvel has a bunch of fictional countries. You got Madripoor, you got Wakanda, you got Latveria. Can't forget about that either. Fictional like Australia. I've never seen Australia. They're real to me. Alright, so cause of death, crushed to death, time of death April 5th at 11 p.m. Alright. A lot of presidents getting off in Ace Attorney. I think this is the first one, but like it's the second time someone's tried to kill him. Second or third time, actually. He's had a bad time this game. I often decorate our house with those flowers. The bouquet must have reminded him of me. So the pup just happens to find the flowers from his mother's bouquet on top of the body. That's why he threw them away and kept silent about the body. Ha! That's a tight little story if I've ever heard of one. I'll admit that does seem pretty suspicious. What's wrong with that? Suppose you prefer untidy, messy stories, Agent Lang. Don't tell me you've forgotten already, Missy. This pup confessed that he caused the monster's head to fall last night. Oh, that's true, but, he's currently the only suspect in the president's murder. It is true that there are many reasons to suspect John. However, there is someone other than John who is far more suspicious. Thank you for, after 20 minutes, finally getting to this. What'd you say? John himself was kidnapped by that very person not too long ago. And we rescued him from the refrigerated warehouse. near the harbor, pal. Refrigerated warehouse? That's right, pal. The refrigeration wasn't turned on, so he wasn't about to freeze to death. But if he hadn't yelled out for help, we would have never found him. Once the sleeping drugs wore off, he was finally able to call out for help. Sleeping drugs? Huh. If I recall correctly, when you were kidnapped. That's right! There was a bottle lying on the floor of the refrigerated warehouse. I think it was the same thing that was used on me not too long ago. That Sleepy Z stuff. It's super powerful. Same MO? Interesting, interesting. Hey, Kais, welcome in. How are you doing today? Never found out which one he'd been to. Slovenia. Maybe he just got lost is all. Or have you tried to kill me in the past? One of you succeeded. Great line, I do love that. Oh yeah, the Savage Land, I do like that too. Hey Trinetta, I'm doing good. How about yourself? How have you been doing? What have you been playing recently too? I'd love to hear. I firmly believe Ace Attorney's in the extended MCU universe. Phoenix was in one of the Marvel vs. Capcom games, so he has met some Marvel characters. How about it, Agent Lang? John is clearly a victim. There is a mastermind at work behind the scenes of this case. I don't know anything about this so-called mastermind. You say they were here last night? I still don't know for sure yet. Ah! It's not like you to be so vague, Mr. Prosecutor. Indeed, still don't have any evidence that ties the mastermind to this murder. Someone else? Anyone besides John who had the opportunity to murder the president. That's it. As I thought. In the end, that pup is our only suspect. Isn't there one more suspect, Agent Lang? What's this? Didn't we prove it earlier? Last night, there was one more person here. Again, like 30 minutes ago, we got to this, and then everybody just sort of forgot about it. Oh god, the Tommy Westfall universe. Haven't heard about that in a bit. Oh, damn it, Flush, you keep thinking it was Mudang instead of Moozilla. Somebody should mod that in here, that would be amazing. Oh god, guys! Guys, please stay alive! That's a good question for him. So, the original Ace Attorney in Japanese takes place in Japan. But the English translated version of Ace Attorney has it take place in an alternate California that has a lot of Japanese influence in it. So yeah, as of, I don't remember if I think Edgeworth's supposed to be from Japan/California. Even though he's got that British air about him, I don't think he's actually from England. Although, trying to think if what's her name with the whip might be. I don't know, I don't think they ever specified that he was from out of the country. Blaze to Bess. You're saying he's the one who did it? Last night, John was not alone. Blaze to Best was here too. Shouldn't we consider him to be a new suspect? Blaze to Best? Killed the president? I mean, he's committed enough other crimes. Germany, that was it. Thank you, Hooded Whalehog. Francesca was raised in Germany. I think you are correct on that one. Edgeworth, though, I don't think was. It's entirely possible. Blaze to Bess. Can't be. Same guy from 12 years ago? 12 years ago? Who's popping up? Well, a lot has changed. It all happened over 12 years ago. Seriously, not only did this conversation happen in this chapter, but this is the second time we flashed back to it. Back then, he and my old man were close friends, and our clan protected the president's life. Lang, don't tell me you're the one from 12 years ago. You got it. Ain't this nice? Now you're finally going to prison where you belong. 12 years is a long time coming for a suspended sentence, don't you agree? Agent Lang, what happened 12 years ago? Nothing concerns you. On the contrary, you might just have some sort of connection with this case. And I suppose you have some proof, Mr. Prosecutor? Show me evidence that there's a connection between this case and the one 12 years ago. Evidence, you say? I assume we'd probably have something that ties it to that. Actually, I think Kay gave us something earlier that ties it to it. Oh yeah, the name is very German, that's true. Expect someone to play it for an hour and a half? I guess that makes sense, yeah, like some of these cases, especially this one, are super duper long, it's true. Lang is kind of giving anime Guy Fieri. Anime Guy Fieri! That's an image that's gonna haunt me. Sammy, welcome in! How are you doing today, Sammy? How's the week treating you so far? Oh god. My therapist, Anime Guy Fieri, can't hurt you. Ace Attorney Investigations too. Guy Fieri wishes he was that cool. And slender. If you don't have any evidence, then there's no point in talking about it. Is there any evidence that connects this case with what happened 12 years ago? I think Kay gave us a file? Let's see, that's the report. No, not that one. No, Kay had a file at some point. Did she not give it to us? I mean, we've got the fucking movie poster. I guess we could present that. That would be kind of awkward if that was the evidence. And if you think we've already found the culprit, we've got a major twist coming for you after the break. I think Francesca von Karma's the only one who doesn't really have a pun in her name. Yeah, it's not super punny, it's true. Mysteries in Flavor Town! I can't even focus on the stream now. My brain's just desperately thinking, what if we had a show that was basically exactly Murder, She Wrote, except it's not Angela Lansbury, it's Guy Fieri, but otherwise it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same show, but just instead of Angela Lansbury, it's Guy Fieri. I want that so badly now. Does anyone not here know any TV executives I can call and pitch this and just make this happen? I don't have a lot of money. I've got like 12 bucks in my pocket. Maybe we can do something with this. Oh God, that would be incredible. Oh Jesus. Oh yeah, Yakuza definitely has some long segments as well. Squid Games, Grocery Games crossover. Oh Jesus. And Nano has redeemed Invest in a Harvester sequel as well. Can we get Guy Fieri in the Harvester sequel too? Like, I don't imagine he needs a lot of money. Like, I can give him a plate of tacos, he'll probably work for that. Relentlessly, thank you for kicking in to Invest in a Harvester sequel. Yeah, we'll just have him in there. Now, it's going to be a 2D FMV game, but we'll mocap him anyway. Mostly just so we can put him in one of those mocap suits and make him run around for a while. Cardio is probably good for him anyway. So, yeah, we won't use any of that mocap that we take, but we'll make sure to have him do like a week of it. And then just like, I think the Guy Fieri segments will be done more like a visual novel where it's just like static images of him emoting. And then just tons and tons of voice acting. Mostly just him saying his catchphrases. And then like, you know like how Animal Crossing characters talk with like that gibberish like syllables? I think that's what we'll do. We'll have Guy Fieri talk for a while, and then we'll break down the individual syllables. And then when he talks, I'll just mash on a keyboard and play a bunch of them at once. And no other character in the game will talk like that, just Guy Fieri. But I think that'll add the right vibe. Somehow it just fits to me. More James, you can't get the Japanese version of the game since Google just patched on us. Change our country's region, download region lock games. Like I said, it's a nightmare trying to get this patch on the Android version. If you can, just get the official release. It's so much easier. Alright, let's see. Is there anything better than the... I mean, we got the poster, but that seems incredibly silly. Do we have anything else that's... Oh, here we go. That's 18 years ago. Yeah, the IS-7 was 18 years ago, so that's not what we're looking for. I mean, we know that Blaze is connected to Patricia, and we know that for some reason Patricia's connected to 12 years ago. So it could be that, I suppose. Oh yeah, Simlish as well, which apparently is like a semi-codified language, I guess? Wait, you can't understand the Animal Crossing characters? Oh god. Did I have an aneurysm or something? Am I having an aneurysm right now? It sometimes feels like that. Alright, so it's either this report or the poster, but the poster seems way too silly, so let's try presenting this first.
Take that!
This is a report written by Patricia Rowland to Blaze DeBest regarding Knightley. Please read this part here. That thing he laid to rest near the flower bed 12 years ago. That's not all. Take a look at this as well. This letter was sent to Jill Crane, who was murdered 2 days ago. Although the sender is currently unknown, here it is written as follows. Please get revenge for 12 years ago. What? 12 years ago? Agent Lang, something big is happening here. Jill Crane's murder 2 days ago, and now the president's murder today. There has to be some connection there. And the key to solving it lies in what happened 12 years ago, does it not? You're asking me to reopen the old wounds of the Lang clan? Agent Lang, I beg of you. What was that just now? Because of course, you know, we can't hear their voice, so apparently the characters in the game can't either. Oh, it's just the Men in Black. You guys, what are you all doing here? They give me all my tax advice, now that can't run now! We followed you here, Shifu. We heard that Shifu was investigating the incident from 12 years ago. How did you hear that? That happened 5 seconds ago. You idiots! I'm not your boss anymore. Get back to your own posts. Sir, we can't do that. What'd you say? Are you disobeying my order? Shifu, we also beg of you. We investigate The SS5 incident from 12 years ago. None of us could ever forget that case. We know you feel the same way, Shifu. Agent Lang, even your former subordinates desire to reinvestigate the case. You think you can solve the mysteries of that case? Perhaps I can, with your help. I got it. I accept your invitation. Shifu! Shifu! Now then, with that decided, I guess it's my turn to shine. Hey? We're investigating a case from the past, right? And guess what the best tool for that is? The little Mr. Thief. Right. If we have the case files from the past case, I can recreate it. Fortunately, I don't have the case files. Ah! What do you mean? Access to those case files is restricted, being treated as highly classified information. Oh, well, that's convenient. Yeah, those are the Men in Black, because all we know about them is they wear suits and they're feds. Yo, for Ultramar, oh god. Yeah, we haven't seen, I don't think we've used Mr. Thief this whole game, I don't think. We didn't use it in case 1. We didn't use it in case 2. No, we haven't used it at all this game. No, we did use it once in case 2. Inside the prison yard. I remember now. Hey, Groshin, welcome in. How are you doing today? Why is that? I don't know. It seems like there were a lot of things that they wanted to keep hidden. Even with what I know. It's limited to what was published in newspapers back then. That'll not be a problem. In any case, please tell us what you know. Sure. The SS5 incident. The incident occurred on a winter day 12 years ago. It was the 10th of February. The police department in this country received a call from a group of kidnappers. We've kidnapped President Huang, they said. Kidnapped? The SS5 incident was the case of President Huang's kidnapping. They demanded a ransom of $100 million. 100 million? Wait, just how much is that? Such a large amount, she's having trouble visualizing it. That night, my old man was the last person to meet with the president. They were together at the Zhengfa embassy until midnight on February 10th. After that, no one knows what the president was doing up until he was kidnapped. With the president's life at stake, the Zhengfa government frantically gathered the money. After that, the ransom was delivered, the president was returned safe and sound. So, President Huang has been the president since 12 years ago. That's really amazing. Well, being in office for so long is just a small part of how amazing the man is. Lang seems a bit happy when we said that. And what happened to the kidnappers? Well, top secret covert investigation was carried out, and a secret trial was held. Trial? Does that mean the suspect was caught? Suspect was Patricia Rowland. Then, the reason you came to the prison a few days ago... This is one of my favorite music tracks in the game. It's like chill, but a little bit mysterious. I like it. Sewed into the suit or just painted to look prison? He does look like that's painted on. It's horrifying. Yeah, how does the suit hug every single one of his muscles? I like to imagine he's just got his tailor on staff, and like as soon as he wakes up in the morning, the guy just goes to work. Yeah, I was put on extended leave from Interpol. So I decided to go back and reinvestigate what happened 12 years ago. Tailor, make it tighter. Where? Everywhere! I can still breathe properly. You can fix that. First, I had to get a look at the face of my target. So the trial 12 years ago ended with a not guilty verdict. Yeah. Back then, my old man was in charge of every aspect of the president's security. He took responsibility for the kidnapping and was relieved of his post as bodyguard. But he continued to investigate as a regular police officer until finally found the culprit. And it was none other than Patricia Boland. There was no way she could be innocent. However, the result was a not guilty verdict. In the end, the case went unsolved. Crushed in both body and soul, my old man resigned from the police. What was the basis for arresting Patricia Boland? There was a lot of evidence. At least, that's what I think. I can't see those documents for myself. Oh, that's where my story ends. What should we do? With only this much information. Even a little thief would have a hard time producing a recreation. Really nothing we can do? Alright, who is this now? We have so many people in this scene already! Please, my poor vocal cords. Who's that? Oh, hey. I love that Francesca always brings her own theme song with her. I like to imagine she just got somebody just off screen at all times with a boombox blasting the song. Skin suits, washable, self-repairing, and free. Sprite overload! Francesca. And Mr. Shields, too. Finished up with the trial and finally managed to catch up with you guys. Here, take this. This is... Ah! It's the case files for the SS5 incident, sir! How did they know we needed that? We just started talking about that 2 minutes ago. What the fuck? Unsable. Yeah, there you go. He's good buds with Reed Richards. She has a boombox and turns it on before she enters the scene. Or maybe that big gem on her collar is actually an MP3 player. She just slaps it to start playing as soon as the scene starts. Her whip is a Bluetooth speaker. When Volan mentioned 12 years ago during the trial, it caught my interest. I looked into it immediately and got in touch with Interpol. Expected no less from you, Francesca. Don't get the wrong idea, Miles Edgeworth. I didn't prepare these documents for you, the former prosecutor. I did it for the sake of the investigator taking up the case his father left behind. Sis! But I thought information on the SS5 incident was restricted to the public. That restriction was placed by the prosecutor in charge of the case, Blaise de Best. Blaise de Best was the prosecutor in charge? Him. However, as a result of the trial just now, Blaise's authority has been revoked. It's all thanks to his son, Sebastian. Bringing down his father, the door to this past case has been opened. Prosecutor de Best is currently wrapping things up in Patricia Rowland's trial. He told me to relay this message to you. Leave Pops and his cohorts to me. You guys just take care of the case on your end. He's become quite reliable, right before our very eyes. Truly. Alrighty then. This is perfect. Now that we have the files, just leave the recreation to me. So for anybody that hasn't seen Little Thief before, this is a whiz-bang technology device she has. Basically, as long as she's got like detailed information about a place and a time, she can create a holographic recreation of it, which we can then explore and find evidence. The one big restriction is, number one, you can't really touch anything, and number two, you can't find anything in the scene that wasn't described. So like if there's a closed box mentioned in the documents, we won't be able to open it and see what's inside. Although it is basically magic and can infer a lot of things, I suppose. Yeah, Miles is technically just helping. Everybody's just sort of allowing him to do this stuff. Hey, Follows, what game we got on maintenance? I'm curious. Indeed. Well then, let us begin. According to these documents, it appears that the incident took place right in front of the Tower Plaza. Then let's head to the plaza right away. As for some reason, literally everyone comes. And somehow Kay is the only one with this magic tag. It is a little weird. Alright, Kellerman, you have a great rest. Thanks for hanging out with us. Take care, we'll see you around. Oh yeah, I play AFK Arena as well. That's usually the first thing I do once I get to work after I check all my email. April 6th, 3:25 p.m. outside Grand Tower, Tower Plaza. Okay, would you please activate the little Mr. Thief? Right! With these case files, recreating everything should be a snap. Where should I start? Where indeed? What are these documents? It seems there was a witness to the kidnapping of the president. A freelance journalist by the name of Jack Cameron. However, he happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and was murdered by the culprit. So that would mean the place he saw the president at was here. Here? At the Grand Tower? No, the Grand Tower was only built around a year ago, okay? Or that, this place contained mostly old abandoned buildings. However, 12 years ago, this place was... now you're finally talking about some stuff that I know. Yeah, 12 years ago, at this very spot was... the Happy Family Home. What's that, pal? It was a place where children who had lost their parents could live. Or, to put it simply, it was an orphanage. You could have just called it an orphanage. We all know what an orphanage is. No one here has never heard of an orphanage. It's not a weird word. It's not a foreign country. Just say orphanage! So the president was kidnapped at that orphanage. And the head of that facility at the time was Patricia Rowland. Apparently, Rowland always referred to it as her home. It seems that suspicion would naturally fall upon her. Patricia Rowland lays to best in President Huang. Darkness that remains from the SS5 incident still casts a shadow on the present case. Okay, I'd like you to input the investigation data from Jack Cameron's murder case. Probably assume that he was killed by one of the kidnappers. So if we solve the murder case, we'll know who the kidnappers were, right? Precisely. I'm counting on you. Also, as you see, Little Thief works by magical girl transformation, basically. Grasha used to play AFK Arena. It was great until it wasn't. I haven't run out of stuff to do in there yet, so I'm still enjoying it. Where's Old Bag? Mo the Clown? Please, neither of them. Oh, God. Turtark, you #1 in the Graveborn faction leader for your server? Holy shit, that's impressive. Oh, you're playing WoW. Nice, nice, follows. Hey, no worry. I'm not playing MMOs right now, but like I had Warframe's currently my most played game all time on Steam, so I get you. Emperor, what have you missed in the last hour? Oh, geez. What was the last thing you saw? Yeah, we have basically everybody in the game here right now, which is a lot. Too many upgrade mechanics. Like, basically the whole reason I play AFK Arena is to pass time, so it gets the job done for me. Oh yeah, Division 2 counts as an MMO. I played all of the unique content in that, and then I didn't feel like grinding the end game, so I dropped it. But I did play over 100 hours of that one. The fact that he's got another 2 cartons in his backpack too is very strange. Don't carry that much milk around with you, it'll spoil. Oh, you're still back. We only left the studio a lot about 5 seconds ago, so I haven't missed too much there. I think basically what we've done is we established, #1, the president was definitely killed by having Mozilla's head dropped on him. And we're also pretty sure that Blaze DeBest was at the scene of the crime at the time it happened. So now we're thinking that this case might have a connection to something that happened 12 years ago? when the president was kidnapped, and Patricia Rowland, the prison warden from the second case, was the one who was arrested for it, though she was found not guilty. So now we're using Kay's Little Thief to try and recreate that case and figure out if we can find anything new. Yeah, Division 2 had a pretty cool story. I liked the writing. I really enjoyed the combat areas in there. But what the heck is this? Everything's green. Come to expect such reactions. It's basically the Doctor Who, wow, it's bigger on the inside thing. This is a recreation of the grounds of the facility that stood here 12 years ago, based on the documents from the police investigation. I recreated the scene to show what it looked like when the police arrived at 7 a.m. the next day. Here's a fair amount of snow had piled up here. Yeah, I heard that the footprints in the snow were prime pieces of evidence. Snow fell during the day, on the day of the incident. So the snow only fell before the crime took place. Which means the footprints wouldn't have been erased by any further snow. Must make sure to pay close attention to those footprints. Well, it won't be hard since they're literally glowing. We're in the Matrix. You haven't missed anything in the last hour, Emperor? Nope, we're still on Namek. Orphanage front yard. These footprints stop near the body. They must be Mr. Cameron's footprints. He sure has some big feet. They look like a size 11. Mr. Cameron is the guy that was the unfortunate witness to the incident and then was murdered. Recreating an entire environment from a bunch of documents at the push of a button. Easy peasy. Alright, so Cameron's footprints are size 11. According to the data, his shoes match these footprints. Alright. So this is the eyewitness of the president's kidnapping, Jack Cameron. What exactly did he witness? I've recreated the state of his body based on the photos taken by the police. Appears he was struck in the head from behind. The murder weapon was a brick, right? Looks like the ones from his garden. Blood that flowed from his head and splattered all over the surroundings. Here, take this! It's Mr. Cameron's autopsy report. Alright, we've got a couple things we can check out in the organizer here. Let's do that real quick. A couple of new pieces of evidence. Let's see, we've got the flowers, which we can take a closer look at if we ever need to. We've got the Sleepy Z. We've got the SS5 incident. President of Zhengfa, Di Junhuang, was kidnapped on February 10th, 12 years ago. Kidnappers demanded a ransom of $100 million. Dai Long Lang confirmed that on the evening of the incident, the president was at the Zhengfa embassy until midnight. Prosecutor Blaise de Best, suspect Patricia Rowland. We've also got the autopsy report right here. Victim Jack Cameron, age 31, time of death February 10th, 12 years ago around 1 a.m. Cause of death, died instantly after being hit on the head with a brick. Remarks, he was likely killed just after leaving a message from his cell phone. Alright. Hey Alex, welcome in! How are you doing today? How's everything going with you? And what have you been playing recently? I would love to hear. Let's see, alright. Now there's lots of stuff to actually see in the scene itself here, so let's get looking. The yellow flower is fallen here. In the language of flowers, it means a stolen treasure. Hey, please stop making things up. Still, this flower seems to be a different variety from the ones growing nearby. Well then, why is it in a place like this? This bothers me a little. We should examine the flower bed itself after this. I knew it! Someone must have stolen this from somewhere and brought it here. Hey. And in the language of flowers, this means an angry prosecutor. God damn it. Emperor, no, that's his job! I assume this is the victim's cell phone. That's right! Apparently Mr. Cameron gave his eyewitness testimony over the cell phone. What do you mean by over the cell phone? After Cameron found the president, it seems that he called his girlfriend. But she didn't answer the phone, so Cameron left a message on her answering machine. The tape is in the case files too. You want to hear it? Please. Hello, Jill. Are you asleep already? I'm in front of the facility now, but something's not right. President Huang is here of all places. And what's more... Crap, the light just went off. I can barely see a thing now. Can't believe it, but it almost looks like he's being kidnapped. I thought I'd let you know. Yeah, that's what I'd do too if I saw a foreign president being kidnapped. Yeah, I'll go ahead and call my girlfriend and let her know. Not the police. That'd be weird. I just thought I'd let you know. Just thought you might want to like to know a foreign president's being kidnapped right in front of me, just in case you were curious. Alex, on the retro side, you've done some Spyro PS1 trilogy, some Disney Pixar games, Mercenaries, and oh, lots of good stuff there. Holy shit. On the modern side, DBD, Thief Simulator, Ace Combat 7, Rise, and Escape Room things. Very nice. A huge variety. Holy crap. Any standouts in there you'd shout out? I'd be curious. Let's see. There was a case so dastardly we couldn't solve it a decade ago. All right, let's solve it now at a parking lot. Yeah, basically the protagonists of the Ace Attorney games are supernaturally competent. Yeah, we were told not to talk to the police, so we just called anybody. Oh god, some guy in a hat. What was that sound at the end? It seems he was attacked while he was still on the phone. Agent Lang, may I ask? What was the name of Mr. Cameron's beloved? I'm pretty sure I heard her name was Jill. Oh god! Everything is connected here. Holy shit. Jill Crane's the one who was murdered 2 days ago. She was the murder victim in case 4. God damn it. What a tangled web we weave. So it was true. Did you say Jill? This was why she was seeking revenge for 12 long years. Feelings and the items Miss Crane inherited from her beloved brought her to the auction. She'd come to extract revenge on the conductor, Blaze. But Miss Crane tried to get revenge on Blaze, right? He may have wanted to get revenge on him for covering up the kidnapping case. Perhaps she thought Blaze himself was the kidnapper. Interesting, interesting. Thief Simulator is way better than it has any right to be, and I just finished the Up game about 10 minutes ago, and it's shockingly solid. Alright, alright. Is it related to Fraser Crane? I assume so. Add that to the canon. It's almost like the 5th case is almost always the previous cases tied together. It's true. It's true, which I enjoy. I think it's pretty cool. It's a Katamari plot, oh god. I mean, he did get brained with a brick, so technically he did break his crown. And then fall down. Alright, so we got all that. We got the brick over here. This is the brick that was used as the murder weapon. I don't see it coming from the flower beds nearby, so we gotta figure out where that came from. You can find bricks like this all over the garden. He must have used one of them as a weapon. The victim was carrying a camera. Oh, according to the case files, it seems that he only managed to take a single photo. Here it is. Isn't that the president? Being held at gunpoint. This must be the scene the victim witnessed. So the person in the coat must be the kidnapper. Indeed, seems like some sort of disguise. The logic of Agent Lang's father is correct. This person should be Patricia Rowland. But why is there only one photo? Perhaps he was killed before he could take any more. So he takes a photo of the president being kidnapped and immediately goes, I should call my girlfriend. Yeah, if you know any of the official translated names, I would love to hear. Please go right ahead. Yeah, I saw the handprint on the snowman too. That's an interesting thing. Let's see if we can get a closer look at that. That is a very interesting mark right there. And it's on the opposite side of the snowman from both of the people in the scene, which is also interesting. Elf Aldown. Oh god, that is... I mean, it's a terrible name, but the pun hits at least. And usually, like, the less time you exist in a Phoenix Wright game, the dumber your name is. So that makes sense. Alright. I'll take a look at the victim himself. Jack Cameron was a freelance journalist. He was killed because he witnessed the president's kidnapping. Blood really stands out in the recreation. I mean, heebie-jeebies. Even in the original photo, it looks brutal enough. A lot of blood was spilled. The back of his head is covered in blood. That must be where all the blood spilled from. According to the autopsy report, he was struck in the back of the head with a brick. Indeed, it's likely that the killer approached Mr. Cameron from behind. Look at him holding something in his right hand? That's also written in the case files. He was holding on to a button. Button? He tear it off the culprit's clothes? But they said he died instantly. I assume he did pull it off the victim's clothes somehow, though. Oliver! Chug-a-boom! I like that. That's a good one. The more specific your involvement in the case, the more likely your name will be a pun. Yeah, if you only exist for one reason, that reason is going to be a pun in your name. This is true. Do you wanna punch a snowman? Oh god. Alright. Let's take a look at the footprints too while we're here. Can we? No? Guess we already looked at the footprints. Alright, that's probably everything to do here, unless there's any logic we can do now. There isn't. Alright, Edgeworth didn't want to look at the flower beds themselves. Flower bed. According to the data, this facility had 3 gardens. And each of these gardens contained 3 flower beds. And we think that Blaze dug 3 holes when he was at the movie set. And the movie set would have been built over the area where this used to be. No, ain't that interesting? I mean, these flower beds are lined up. I've seen this arrangement somewhere before. Yeah, I think that's where we're going next. Since it was during the winter, there were no flowers in bloom. What a shame. What's this yellow flower? Huh? Why is there a single flower here? That is a lion lily. It's a very rare type of lily. You say lion lily? That's the flower Miss Courtney gave to the president. What's it doing here? Could it be just a coincidence? Nope! I recall, the lion lily originates from Asia. In the language of flowers, it means the bond between parent and child. I never knew you were so familiar with flowers. That much is common sense. You're simply lacking in your studies, Miles Edgeworth. How is that common sense? I don't know anything about flower language aside from it exists. Yeah, John and Courtney just sulking in the corner. So, yeah, isn't it interesting that, we have the flower beds in groups of 3. And also there was the 3 footprints. Perhaps this is the true nature of the monster's footprints. True nature? Compare the positions of the 3 footprints and the 3 flower beds on the left. Ah! exposed areas of dirt match the areas where the flower beds were. So Blaze dug holes in front of where each of the 3 flower beds used to be. That's why they got that weird Pac-Man shape too. Because he wasn't digging for something that was in the flower bed, he was digging for something that was in front of the flower bed. Exactly. Now why would he do such a thing? I believe we have a piece of evidence that tells us why. Why did he dig holes in the flower beds? Because... Oh god, because... Well... Great question you asked just now. Fuck, Oh! From Patricia's interrogation. That thing he laid to rest in front of the flower bed 12 years ago. You simply must retrieve it. I forgot about that line. Probably because I had no idea what it meant at the time. Assaulted by the duck pond. Flower could be given passive-aggressively. I want to passive-aggressively give flowers.
Take that!
The report from Patricia Boland to Blaze to Best. It said that something was laid to rest in front of the flower bed. Blaze was following Ms. Boland's instructions to dig it up. But why would he dig up 3 holes? The report didn't state which of the 3 flower beds the item was in front of. Oh, so Blaze didn't know exactly where to dig. That's why he had to dig up all 3 spots. Most likely, yes. I'm sure Blaze himself was none too happy about that. He went through all that trouble. I wonder what he was trying to dig up. That's a very good question. But we're getting somewhere now. Alright, so I don't think we have any other logic we can do right here. Please don't use Little Thief to show a simulation of someone getting laid. Please don't. Alright, so what do we got over here? Footprints here seem to lead to and from the body. These footprints were believed to be the culprits. Shoe size is about a size 7. That's fairly average. You won't be able to tell who the culprit is from these footprints. Is 7 average? Curious. Alright, oh, we got a little turtle over here. These playground toys are modeled after a hare and a tortoise, like from the fable. The tortoise and the hare competed in a race, and in the end, the hare lost. Now, for something completely different. Time for a K quiz! Why did the hare lose? There are 3 choices. I already know the answer. Because the hare took a nap. 1. The hare's favorite shoes were stolen by the Yatagarasu. 2. The tortoise trained with the Yatagarasu until it became faster than the hare. 3. Unbeknownst to the 2 animals, the Yatagarasu stole the victory from the shadows. Those are my only choices? Is it too hard for you? Okay, I'll give you a hint. It starts with a TH. She wants me to pick number 3. Okay. Would have thought the average shoe size in this universe would be larger than the number of clouds. Larger, it's true. I think my shoe size is a 10.5 men's. So I'm like, do I just have really big shoes? That all? Alright, the bear-shaped igloo is both cute and scary at the same time. I hereby declare this a bear glue! Looks as though this igloo could fit 3 people inside. Yeah, I bet you could live up to 3 years in this bear glue. 3 years? What about the summertime? The igloo would melt. Mr. Edgeworth, say that again! Say that one more time! The igloo would melt. You almost said it! The average shoe size for men in the United States is... Oh, so I'm average. Alright, interesting. In the official translation, it's size 9. I guess that sounds more average then. August is a 13. Whew. That's wow. I've had size 11s before, and I'm like, wow, these are really big. And also, it gets to the point where it's tough to actually find shoes that you can get at that size. The average Japanese men's shoe size is around 25 centimeters, which translates to a US size 7. All right, so it's a literal translation. That's interesting. Thank you for letting us know. Yeah, I never really knew about that. That's fair, Rin. That's good. Please don't trip and die. This door! I remember seeing it from somewhere. Of course you would. It looks exactly like the Grand Tower door we saw earlier. Almost as if the devs were reusing assets. But it's a recreation from 12 years ago. That means this door has been here since then. Seems when the Grand Tower was built, they decided to reuse the door rather than destroy it. Like the old saying goes, discover something new by heating up something old. Oh, she's understood the correct meaning of a saying for once. But if you're using a microwave to do it, don't heat it for over 5 minutes. I assume that's going to be like important to the case later, is the fact that the door is the same in both time periods. Kissing you're a 10 in women's, which means you're an 8.5 in men's. And people tell me as a trans woman I have big feet. I guess everything's relative, interestingly enough. Average Australian's men's shoe size is size 15. Is that the same as US sizes? Because then why y'all wearing clown shoes? I'm very confused. Swing decorated with the face of an elephant. Looks like there's some kind of motor attached to the other side of the elephant. There's one thought that has crossed the minds of every top-class swinger. If only I could do a full 360. With that powerful motor rotating the swing, that dream could finally be achieved. Rotating with a motor. But wouldn't that be dangerous? Mr. Edgeworth, you can't fulfill your dreams unless you're willing to take some risks. That's the real problem here. I mean, everyone has thought that at least once. Only I could get over the top there. Same as US sizes, Jesus. Balls who wear 12 wides have custom order. Oh, jeez, that's unfortunate. I should mention too, and obviously this isn't a paid sponsorship, but I'm currently wearing my favorite shoes I've ever gotten. And I love talking about them because they're also the silliest shoes I've ever owned. They are slip-on, steel-toe Skechers. They are so comfortable, and also all of that is very weird put together. I've never heard of that combination of those three things before. I didn't know that was a thing. I just saw them at the store. And I'm like, I mean, I do work with heavy things, so I do want to have a steel toe, and I do want something very comfortable. And I don't like laces, so yeah. Highly recommend if you can find them. And Rin, thank you for the link. I know I've talked to you about these before. What is this thing? This is mostly melted, but it appears to be a snowman? It is a scarf and a hat. Must have melted since it was dressed so warmly. Poor thing has even lost one of its buttons that was used for its eyes. One of its buttons, you say? Temperature reaches its lowest point at dawn. Perhaps it would have refrozen later. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Once the snowman melts, even if it freezes up again, it becomes an iceman instead of a snowman. What? Is that what she was expecting me to say? Probably, yeah. Told me about it 2 days after I bought mine. What a coinkydink. Small world, I suppose. Relentlessly, my feet are just really wide. I'm like a duck. I'm imagining that now, and I wish I wasn't. Trey Dog, you're 11.5 wide. Not too far off from mine, I don't think. They're really comfy. I like them a lot. Scruffy, don't you dare say a word. I'm warning you. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, please help me, sir. What is it, Detective Gumshoe? It's about the story behind the SS5 incident, sir. Even though Blaze may have lost his authority, there's no way you can get confidential documents this quickly. That got me curious, so I made a few calls and asked around. And I found out that Ms. Von Karma used all sorts of forceful tactics to... Scruffy, I thought I warned you. Ah! You've done a lot for us, Francesca. I promise I will bring this to an end with my own hands. So Francesca just whipped her way inside the archives? It's fucking metal. Speculation is that she simply preferred wearing comfortable shoes bigger than women's fashion had typical. That makes sense. That's completely fair, I think. Girl boss. I mean, Gumshoe's trying to tattle on her. He shouldn't be doing that. Certainly more comfy than my steel toe, steel sole, yellow leather boots. Clumpy is the word that came to mind. Yeah, I was wearing work boots at my old job. And because I'm not doing that kind of work at my new job, I don't technically need steel toe, but like, servers are incredibly heavy. And while I'm hoping I'll never drop one, like, it's possible. You don't want to take those kind of chances. What a scoop! Would you look at that? These folks are done turned green. Maybe they're sick or something, but their clothes are green too. Well, I'll be. Their clothes are all green too. I reckon this ain't no ordinary disease. You all picked up on something good. Looks like you're taking it to the next level. Yes, Chief. Looks like there's no way we'll be getting a word in. Not that I have any desire to intervene. Yeah, the less we have to talk to Lana, the better. Please, ask me anything you wish. Alright. Oh yeah, if you're messing around with sheet metal, yeah, you need some very secure shoes right there. It's the Emerald City. I'm surprised nobody's made that joke before when she's used a little thief. Slip-ins for the airport's very nice. I think I'm just gonna get slip-on shoes for the rest of my life now. I don't want to go back. Let's ask the wizard for a heart for Miles. Oh God. Where's steel toe always to build calf? Ooh. Interesting. I hadn't even thought of that. I have my heartfelt thanks for bringing John back. Oh, even though the thought of him not coming back makes me... Hey, old man, don't bully my mom! No, that wasn't my intention. Wow, look at him go! Mommy's little knight in shining armor. He's so cool. It's not like that. Quit blabbering stupid stuff about me. John, please wait. May I proceed, Mr. Edgeworth? My actions were unbecoming of one who calls herself a servant of the goddess of law. I won't ask for forgiveness. However, Judge Courtney, I'm not as well acquainted with the goddess of law as you are. However, isn't that goddess also a mother of other gods? Ha! The law makes exceptions for extenuating circumstances. It understands a mother's heart. I'd say perhaps your goddess sympathizes with you more than you think. Mr. Edgeworth. I don't get it. What the heck are you two blabbering about? It's okay, John. I don't have a clue either. Although I wish extenuating circumstances came up more in Phoenix Wright games. Feels like that would make sense here. Seems the dust has settled on day one of Patricia Rowland's trial. Yes, while a decision is yet to be reached, I would say a guilty verdict is quite likely. I'm sure a thorough investigation into her connection with Blaze will be conducted as well. After seeing Sebastian today, I know we can put our faith in him. Just like Kay, Sebastian is also in the midst of training for the future ahead. Ah, I see. When you say it like that, I guess we have more in common than I thought. I said a few mean things to him, so the next time we meet, I'd like to apologize to him. I'm sure you'll get your opportunity, but for now... Yes, at present, solving this case is our top priority. Alright, nothing else to say to her right now. I'm gonna save too. Oh, you found it? Excellent, excellent. And I gotta blow my nose again. I'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. Alright, sorry about that. I think there's one more group we haven't talked to here. Oh yeah, we haven't talked to Ray, and we haven't talked to the Interpol guy. Lang. Scene sure puts a chill in your bones. Uncle Ray needs a hot babe to keep him warm. Would you please try to be a little more serious? Oh, that's what Kay wants. I guess I have no choice. Miles, this is where it all began. Isn't that right? Yes, I fear that is the case. What was Patricia and Blaze's true goal? Still many mysteries yet to be solved. Indeed, just as you say. Particularly the mystery of what will happen to Kay Ray's love. Is it suspenseful? Oh, that's a great place for the game to lock up. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Oh, God. Why is he so gross all the time? Why is he like that? He doesn't have to be like that. You need to stop being like that. Even the game doesn't want him to be like that, so the game crashed on me there. I'm gonna say once again, though, thank God for autosaves. Let me just get the capture back now. There we go. See, literally right where we left off. That's amazing. Chugaboo. Thank you, thank you. Not even a little. You just couldn't resist, could you, Mr. Shields? Why can't you ever stay serious for more than a minute? I think he's genuinely incapable of staying serious for that long. Yeah, I believe so. 3 flower beds and snow. Agent Lang, what's the matter? Something strange. I wasn't able to read the SS5 incident case files until now. This Blaze had all access to that information restricted. Yeah, that's right. And yet, I feel like I've seen this exact scene somewhere before. What do you mean? Where did I see this? I can just remember. Looks deep in thought. I should leave him alone for a while. Of course, now we know the answer to that question. Do we have something we can present for that? I guess we could try and present the monster's footprints. I don't think we have the exact, like, revelation that he got anywhere here. I don't think so. Let's see if we can present that. Mozilla, what are you asking me about that for? I won't say the culprit is a monster, but it seems a little too early to say it's unrelated. If you know anything, then by all means, please tell me. President always had a Mozilla doll with him. I've caught a glimpse of it on occasion. That's how I knew. Mozilla doll, huh? Indeed, there was one inside the president's plane. So even a foreign president was a fan. Mozilla sure has international appeal. You know how different countries have different sounds for animal noises? So, I wonder what kind of sounds a foreign Mozilla would make. Don't even know what kind of sound a domestic Mozilla would make. Didn't we hear Mozilla's roar earlier? I don't remember. Deja vu, common glitch in the Matrix. It's true. That means somebody's changing something. After the SS5 incident, the president completely changed. Well, he must have felt like his trust had been betrayed. It's only natural. He cut off all ties with the Lang clan, putting an end to our deep bond of trust. My old man wanted to at least apologize in some way. So he tried to go see the president more times than I can count. Of course, the president refused to meet with him. He wouldn't even give him the time of day. I don't know if it was from the bodyguards, but there were times he'd come back all beaten up. He's standing around talking about the past doesn't do jack, does it? I shall be the judge of that. For now, just keep telling us what you know. You're still as tactless as ever. Well, I figured you'd say as much. fall of my old man was also the fall of the Lang clan. Family that failed to protect the president. That's what we became. My old man started to investigate the case like he was possessed. Someone so driven by obsession truly conduct a proper investigation. Sheesh, you really don't pull your punches, Mr. Prosecutor. Don't think I blindly trusted in his investigation just because he's my old man. His investigation was meticulous down to the last detail. Apparently, he even conducted a thorough interview with each and every kid at the orphanage. Interviewed every child. Wonder how fruitful his results were. Unfortunately, we can't press him about that, it doesn't seem. It's unfortunate. Is there nothing we can ask him about here? Doesn't seem like it. No, I guess that's all he's gonna say for right now. Alright, so we've talked to everybody here in that case. Was it the murder weapon that was buried? That seems odd, but we don't have anything else to do at the moment. Let's see if we can connect these two things. Nope. Alright. Anywhere else the brick could have come from around here? Spot anything obvious anyway. Not that I can see. I don't have much information about that flower either, which is odd. But also I remember Edgeworth said to pay special attention to the shoe sizes as well. Alright, so what do we need to do next? I'm assuming we need to present something at one of the pieces of evidence. Which is really weird. Let's see, we looked at the flower beds, I think. Let's see, we got the whole crime scene here, I think. What do we do next? That's the question. I think we're missing something here. Oh, it looks like we're missing a couple things. I'm checking the walkthrough right now because we've looked at a lot of things here. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Maybe it was his pet brick that he brought everywhere himself. I mean, you know, lots of people have some strange pets. Alright, so notice how the two pillars look very different here. What's up with that? This pillar appears to be burnt. According to the file, it seems there was a fire on the evening of the incident. Fire? Let's see here. Huh? It says that one of the children at the orphanage spilled kerosene and set it on fire as a prank. That kid had far too much energy. Thanks to that, we can't make out any of the footprints near the main hall. Well, that's a hell of a prank right there, Jesus Christ. We've learned pretty much all that we can about the situation at the time of the murder. Oh, in that case, is there another scene you'd like to recreate? Yes. Would you do the honors? I would like you to recreate the scene when the victim witnessed the president's kidnapping. Right, I'll recreate the scene based on Mr. Cameron's photo. So right now the scene is what the cops found, so now we're actually going to go back to when the kidnapping happened. Kids love arson. Mr. Cameron is standing in the middle of the flower beds. And the president and his kidnapper are standing on the road. My old man based his initial investigation on this man's eyewitness testimony. As a result, it led him to believe that the kidnapping and this facility were related. That's how he came to suspect the head of the orphanage, Patricia Rowland. Yeah, but in court, Blaise DeBest treated this testimony as if it meant nothing. Why would he do that? The president and his kidnapper were not standing inside the orphanage grounds. So a connection between the orphanage and the kidnapping was difficult to prove. They're standing 2 feet outside the grounds. Come on! Like, that's absurd. They're right there. Yeah, I see. It's not like they were seen inside the orphanage after all. No matter how much evidence the detectives gather at the crime scene, doesn't mean squat if the prosecutor won't use it in court. Blaise DeBest had some kind of connection with Patricia Rowland. I figured they had some kind of deal going on. In other words, you think that Blaise was one of the kidnappers? Does seem likely. However, your father was convinced that Patricia Rowland was the culprit. Your father was a highly capable investigator, I presume. Might he have had some other basis for his conclusion besides the eyewitness testimony? Yeah, I figured he did. I have no idea what it was. My old man never really talked much about this case. Agent Lang's father, Dai Long Lang, was Huang's most trusted confidant. The truth he discovered was suppressed by Blaise DeBest. First, we must find that hidden truth. Alright, moment of the incident, 2:10, 1:15 a.m. Yeah, he just had too much energy. That's a very gentle way to put it right there. Amazing how he photographed his own murder, apparently. Well, what he photographed is down here. He photographed the kidnapping, and from that we're just sort of extrapolating the rest, I guess, because we know the footprints. We know where he ended up being killed. We don't know specifically who killed him. That's why that's just a blur. If your kid has that much energy, please call someone. Dedication. Alright, so where do we want to start? His footprints stopped near the body. It must be Mr. Cameron's. Alright, so we already saw that one, right? Yeah, we already saw that. Alright. Alright, let's start here. Cameron took a photo of the president from this spot. And he also called Ms. Crane, right? At that time, the killer was already behind him, holding the murderous brick. Alright, nothing else to see there. Start looking down here next. Alright, so finally we get to look at that suspicious mark on the snowman. About the snowman. When we recreated the scene where Mr. Cameron was killed, it had already melted. The scarf was all soggy and one of its button eyes was missing. Indeed, at this stage it appears that most of its original form was still intact. Although there's one spot that looks unnaturally lacking. Poor thing, I bet some naughty kid must have plucked it off. Although, from a thief's perspective, that kid does have some promise. It's plucked off by one of the children at the orphanage. No, perhaps it's taken by an entirely different person altogether. Yeah, I think we need to get down to that, because we know where that button ended up. Although I'm not sure what that means. Eureka! The snowman. Didn't you say it's missing something? Ah, its right eye is missing. Precisely. And what's more, that missing eye happens to be in our possession. The button that Mr. Cameron was holding on to. Got the exact same design as the snowman's left eye. We assume this button was indeed the snowman's eye. Huge contradiction arises. This button is the snowman's eye. What contradiction arises? The location of the victim. The victim was holding on to the button. Furthermore, the button was stained with blood. In other words, he grabbed the button after he was attacked. For example, if we were to picture it this way, after being struck in the back of the head, Mr. Cameron lost his balance. As he was falling, he reached out his hand towards the nearby snowman. However, it could not support his weight, and he collapsed while still grasping the button. Huh? That means Mr. Cameron was near the snowman when he was attacked. Indeed. At the very least, he must have been within arm's reach. However, it's quite clear that he would not have been able to reach it from his current position. But Mr. Cameron's footprints only lead towards the flower bed. Can we be certain that those footprints really are Mr. Cameron's? We'll need to investigate them one more time. Understood. I'll recreate the time the body was discovered scene one more time. Something doesn't add up here. I've got a theory for what the problem is. Well, like, all the blood is over by the flower beds, and his footprints only lead over to the flower beds. But it seems like he died next to the snowman. And we know from the photo the snowman was over by the gate. Maybe the kid made the brick himself, perhaps a byproduct of the excessive milk intake. Oh God, please see a doctor. Crushing. Yeah, the CSI tech is so ridiculous. These footprints should match up with Mr. Cameron's shoes, right? Let's inspect them again. Alright, so we inspected the footprints. Can we check out his shoes now? I don't think we checked his shoes directly before, so that's on me. His shoes should match the footprints, however. His shoes. Seems like they were not the ones originally worn by the victim. What do you mean? If you look closely, you'll see the laces were tied up strangely. And the size doesn't seem to fit quite right either. So somebody put different shoes on the victim after he was killed. That would mean these huge footprints leading up to the victim's feet. Most likely made by someone other than the victim. So then, the footprints leading to and from the victim's head must be Mr. Cameron's. No, not necessarily. They seem a little too small to be the victim's footprints. So, none of the footprints are his? Then which way did Mr. Cameron walk from? Quite simple. The victim did not walk here on his own accord, but rather, he was carried here after he was murdered by the culprit. Question now becomes, where was he killed and carried from? Perhaps it was near the snowman after all. Interesting, interesting. Hey Plunge, welcome in. How are you doing today? How's your week going so far? The infamous shoe swapper. That monster, our arch nemesis. Alright, did we get anything else from looking at the snowman? Mr. Cameron's body was moved. If we consider the button he was holding on to, it's highly likely that he was killed near this snowman. Let's take a closer look. Alright, let's see if we can see anything else here. Oh, I see something already. Huh? There's a brick missing here. The rest is all in order. Strange that only this one is missing. That is interesting, since, you know, we find a missing brick by the snowman, and a brick happens to be a murder weapon as well, though we didn't know previously where it came from. Perhaps the missing brick was the one used as the murder weapon. Ah! Yeah, it seems to be just the right size to fit into that gap perfectly. Alright. Got that now. The snowman's become a sad sight to look at. Can't be helped. Snow and ice both melt away with time. Just like the mysteries of the cases you've solved, Mr. Edgeworth. As time passes, those mysteries melt away while you continue to keep it cool. realize I'm racking my brain trying to solve those mysteries during the case. As long as nobody knows that, I suppose. There are some size 7 footprints going back and forth. According to the police files, these are the culprit's footprints. Indeed. They seem to grow faint and disappear as they approach the road. There's not much snow left on the road, after all. As suspected, it'll be difficult to determine who these footprints belong to. Well, shoot. I don't think there's anything else to look at here. Alright. What else is there to do here? Yeah, we gotta go and move some corpses now. Calm on the surface, but paddling like hell underneath. I like that. Someone's bricked up Emperor, is that what you're saying? Alright. Does he have anything else to say? He does not. Alright, so the brick that was used as the murder weapon was by the snowman. We know that. There's also the signs that the body was moved. Which would mean if we put them together... As I thought, it seems the murder actually occurred near the snowman. Both the button Mr. Cameron was holding and the murder weapon came from there. Indeed. Also, if we assume that the killer picked up the brick near the snowman, and then tried to sneak up behind Mr. Cameron. Oh! Mr. Cameron totally would have seen the person picking up the brick! Exactly. Okay, please update the recreation. Mr. Cameron was not in the middle of the flower beds, but near the snowman. Okay, I'm on it! I don't think that makes any sense. I think we might have broken it. Like, that's not how it was. I don't think that happened like that, personally. It is my belief that he was not murdered in the midst of the kidnapping. No matter how you look at it, this is strange. All the people involved in this case are gathered in the same place. Did we make a mistake here or something? One piece of evidence this recreation is based on is odd. I had to choose which piece of evidence is fake. Which piece of evidence is likely to be fake? You know, I've been wondering about this for a little while.
Take that!
Was this photo really taken by Mr. Cameron? This has been bothering me for quite a long time, because you remember he called his girlfriend. He didn't mention anything about taking a picture. Something's weird there. Just why you're a prosecutor, not a detective. Ouch. Huh? What do you mean? We've proven that whoever killed Mr. Cameron also moved the body. What reason would they have to deliberately move his body? Perhaps the culprit wanted to falsify the scene that Mr. Cameron witnessed. That's why they took a fake photo? They made the president stand under the streetlight and took a photo with Cameron's camera. It would have been quite simple. And now you mention it. Mr. Cameron's camera only had one photo on it, right? Indeed. In all likelihood, the original roll of film had been removed from the camera. And after loading a new roll of film into the camera, the fake photo was taken. I see. So this photo must have been taken after Mr. Cameron was killed, right? That's what it seems like. Exactly. This was not the scene Mr. Cameron actually witnessed. It's likely that this photo is forged evidence. Then, where did Mr. Cameron witness the president and his kidnapper? The photo isn't the only piece of evidence that indicates what Mr. Cameron witnessed. Ah, the testimony you left on the answering machine. Precisely. We should listen to the recording one more time and confirm what was said. Alright, good luck, Punisher. Thanks for hanging around. Alright, so where else could the president and his kidnapper have been? Wait, aren't we supposed to listen to the recording again? I guess we don't get to. However, I'm thinking up here where the burn happened, maybe?
Take that!
They were over there. So what's the basis for that claim? Do I really need a basis for my claims? In other words, you don't know, do you? Yeah, can I check out the organizer now? I want to listen to the tape again. Alright. He's right in front of the facility now, but something's not right. President Huang is here of all places, and what's more, crap, the light just went off. I can barely see a thing. Hey, Hallion! 18 months of Shane! Thank you so much for the 18-month resub there, Hallion. I appreciate it. How are you doing? How's your week been going? What have you been up to? Tell me everything. Alright, so he says he's in front of the facility and the light just went off. Alright, so that's our clue here. Alright. Can you say something about the situation at the scene? Yeah, I just look now that you let me. Oh, I see here. So you notice there's 4 lights in the scene. There are 4 lights, but 2 of them are burnt out. So that means he must have been by one of the burnt out lights. Was he by this one then?
Take that!
Apparently not. Thank you all for jumping on that. I appreciate it. Excellent, Hallion. Well, good morning to you. Hope you have a good breakfast. Fought him every step of the way. Oh, God. Not sure how much it was Bethesda and how much it was DOSBox. It can be tough to tell sometimes. DOSBox is very good, but not perfect. Alright. Well, if he wasn't there... he must have been by the other light then, right?
Take that!
There we go. Mr. Cameron said this on the answering machine. The lights just went off. I can barely see a thing now. There are only 2 places here where the lights are broken. The light by the orphanage. Okay, could you please update the recreation? Roger! Alright. Now we're getting somewhere. So the kidnapper was near the orphanage? Indeed. With this, we've shown the connection between the orphanage and the kidnapper. So that's why they moved the body and took a fake photo to create fake testimony. In order to remove any suspicion towards the orphanage in court. With this, the state of the recreation has changed completely. The time the body was discovered scene has probably been greatly impacted as a result. Let's go check it out right away. Preparations are ready. The state of the recreations has changed once again. I should press the partner button and select change recreation. Give it a try. Alright. Can do. Change recreation. Alright. Yeah, we know all that. Recreated the scene. Alright. So now we've got him over here, because that's where he was actually killed. Yeah, that's definitely different now. Brute force still best force? I appreciate it. Everything can be brute forced once. Truth, truth, truth. I'm disappointed the ghoul would have been if Picard just shrugged and went, yeah, 5 lights, whatever. Wouldn't have made for nearly as thrilling an episode, and it is a very good episode of television. originally Mr. Cameron's body was here. In order to be consistent with the fake photo, he was moved to the center of the flower beds. And the footprints going back and forth from the body, could they be? Indeed, there's only one possibility at the moment. These footprints were probably left when the body was moved to the flower beds. Alright. Interesting, interesting. Alright, so this has gotten a little bit more interesting now. This seems to be the only area without any snow. Must have been melted by the fire caused by the child at the orphanage. Disasters just keep coming for this orphanage. After the fire, multiple murders occurred. After the fire, the snow had melted. Wouldn't that mean? Blood splatter above the snow. Certainly was a substantial amount. Almost as if the murder was actually committed here. Mr. Cameron should have been attacked near the snowman. Exactly. In that case, this blood must belong to someone else. What? But the police report said this was Mr. Cameron's blood. The one in charge of this case was Blaise de Best. It would have been simple for him to falsify that information. But wouldn't it be faster to just clean up the bloodstains rather than falsify the information? He wouldn't be able to do that. Think about it. Blaise knew that Mr. Cameron's body would be discovered here, in which case the forensics department would naturally become involved. Ah, a luminol reaction! They would have discovered it with the power of science! Precisely. It would have been difficult to completely erase all traces of the blood. However, falsifying the results of a blood test would be much easier in comparison. You just have to switch the results from the forensics reports. Aw, what a bummer! Knowing those documents I read were falsified. It looks like Mr. Cameron's clothes were completely soaked in blood. Blood scattered here got onto Cameron's clothes. That would mean at the time the bloodstains here had not dried yet. I see. This certain somebody's blood was splattered here just a short while before Mr. Cameron was murdered. Indeed, that's exactly right. However, if that's the case, wouldn't a new contradiction arise in this recreation? Interesting, interesting. Alright, sounds good now, Cat and Run. You take care of yourself. Thanks for hanging out around. We'll see you later. The power of science is staggering. Yeah, this seems like a bad luck for some orphanage. Feel free to play it if you want, Board Jams, but like I said, I don't think it's worth it. It's a lot of trouble getting running. Lying on the paperwork, a police tradition. Alright, so it's somebody else's blood here is the case, it would seem. So the timeline doesn't seem to work in that case. Here, let's look at the blood stain. Save again first. More James are heading to bed as well? Alright. Have a good rest. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you around. And then let's present the information about the fire. Oh, because they said the fire... They said the fire happened before the incident. But seeing the blood like this... seems like it would have happened after? It's really weird. I gotta deduce. And I don't know if it's here or the actual spot of the fire I have to deduce on. We'll see.
Eureka!
Ah, here we go. This is a clear contradiction. Huh? You mean this bloodstain? You see how this bloodstain is broken up by the remains of the fire. This is proof that the fire occurred after the blood had scattered around the area. Huh? but I thought the fire occurred before the murder. Seems that information is suspect as well. If the fire had broken out after the murder, then the child who started the fire should have seen the body and the bloodstains. Why then did they not come forward as a witness? It's likely that would have put Blaze at a great disadvantage. Oh god damn it, it locked up again. Alright, hang on. Having a real bad time with it tonight. I don't know why it's freezing up tonight specifically. Luckily it seems pretty easy to fix at least. Alright. Again, thank goodness for autosave. I really appreciate that. Alright, there we go. Hope you didn't bring the future shockers in. I don't think so. We've had the game crash on us once or twice before this. It just happened a little bit more tonight than usual. Yeah, autosave, we love you. Guess we'll need to investigate this fire in more detail. Hey, you! Yes, sir. There should be some records of the fire in the police department under a different case file. I want you to bring me every last investigation report about the fire. Understood, Shifu. Oh, and one more thing. What is it, sir? Contact the House of Lang in Zhengfa. There should be evidence from this case in my old man's room. What do you mean? I just remembered why I recognize this scene. A long time ago, I saw a picture in my old man's room. It was a drawing resembling this scene. What did you say? However, I think it looked like something a child drew. A child? The artist may have been the culprit behind the fire. It should still be somewhere in my old man's room. Have them send it over here. Understood, sir. Wait, have it sent over from Zhengfa? Are we gonna wait a week for it to show up in the mail? There's a pizza joint in Australia that has rolled out ham and orange. They're also offering free samples to anyone that produced an Italian passport. Oh god. See, I can't imagine orange being good on pizza just because I don't think orange is good heated? Or like grilled? Like that's the whole point of pineapple, is that pineapple is good grilled. So, you know, putting pineapple on pizza then throw it in an oven works good? It sounds like they have a vendetta, honestly. I mean, yeah, possibly. Like, even tomatoes, if cooked correctly, put in the oven, like a little bit of blacking on them does make them taste pretty good. Although sometimes I put my tomatoes on after it comes out of the oven. Like, you gotta put it on right afterwards, though. All right. Duck and orange sauce, you gotta, I mean, yeah, it's true. The sauce, though, you heat up, yeah. Roasted tomatoes make amazing homemade salsa, agreed, most definitely. Orange chicken is so, I eat a lot of orange chicken. It's so good. Alright, do we have any new logic? We do not, but I've got a theory about what Blaze dug up. I just can't prove it yet. Alright, so we've got that. So what do we do next? Must be some other piece of evidence we need. What did we miss here? Gotta be something we missed. I think we just need to find one more thing and then the scene will just end. So I'm trying to figure out what it is that we missed. Let's see, we did that. We got the contradiction about the blood stain. We got the missing brick. We got all that. Body was moved. Got the photograph as fake. We got the evidence about his shoes, right? That's in there? Yeah, we got that in there, so that's good. looks like we did miss something. Oh, alright, that's a weird jump of logic, but alright, I see what you're doing here, game. Orange and apple tea, alright. I don't think I've ever had orange tea before, but that sounds delicious. I like the flavor of orange. You know, I don't know if I've ever had General Tso's chicken, which is weird. I've had a lot of orange chicken, but I don't think I've tried General Tso's yet. I gotta do that sometime. Allie and you went to a board game party on Saturday, and the host made chili, dirty rice, chicken strips, and tea. Oh shit, that sounds amazing. Hope you had fun at the board games, too. Let's see, the great documentary about the history of General Tso's chicken. Oh, it was? Awesome, awesome. Alright, so... basically the game wants us to connect these two. What did Blaze dig up? And was Blaze a kidnapper? Like, that's tenuous, but like, that's what the game wants us to connect, it sounds like. If we suppose that Blaze was one of the kidnappers, it becomes more likely that what he dug up yesterday is connected to the abduction. Ah! What is it? I figured it out! It was treasure! Treasure! Couldn't Blaze have dug up the ransom money? $100 million ransom. Buried in the ground until the heat had died down. Certainly possible. I know, right? Interesting. Investigation complete. Alright, that was all we were missing. That would be a really big hole to dig. He did do a lot of digging, but he is a giant of a man, so you know. Well, that makes sense. Ace Attorney in Law & Order? Oh god, that would be horrifying. Shifu, I'm back! I brought the info on the fire the kids started, a photograph of the drawing in your father's office. Oh, they just brought a photo of it back, that makes more sense. Law & Order is always on somewhere. I watched a lot of Law & Order back in the day. Oh god. And also, oh, I've been waiting for this. Hurry up and hand him over. The information held by Agent Lang's father. This is it. It's exactly what I remembered. This was the picture drawn by the child depicting the night of the incident. Sure looks like it was drawn with a child's touch. As I thought, the one who drew this, most likely the child who started the fire. Don't leave me hanging till they find him? I hope so. Alright, it's a goofy looking picture. But there's some interesting information in there. Shifu! What now? Sorry, but it's gonna have to wait. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Why do you think my old man had this? Perhaps he obtained it during the course of his investigation into the incident. Though I don't know why he would have concealed it. Agent Lang, might I be able to see the details of the fire? Yeah, sure. Allow me to read it post-haste. The boy who started the fire snuck out of bed on the night of the incident. This boy went missing several days later. What? Don't tell me that he witnessed something he shouldn't have. That's horrible. He was only a child after all. I hate for that to be the case. We can't rule out the possibility entirely. Huh? Apparently, the boy left some stuff behind at the orphanage, and it was taken as evidence. What's this? What's that doing here? Huh? Mr. Prosecutor, do you recognize this? Yes, I know one piece of evidence is related to it. I mean, this one's an easy one at least. I don't know what it means, but I know where it goes.
Take that!
I don't know what it's doing here, but isn't that the missing horn from this Muzilla doll? No way! You mean this came off the president's? You know of it? Yeah, I've noticed the president kept it close by as a decoration. I just thought it was strange how one of the horns was missing. You twist the horn, this doll will play back any previously recorded audio. So if we put the missing horn back in place, we might be able to hear a different recording. Indeed, it is possible. The doll is currently on the 51st floor of the Grand Tower. Hey you heard that, right? Yes sir, I'll be right back. So if the horn has been missing since the day of the fire 12 years ago, it's possible the audio was recorded on the night of the murder. That's interesting. And now we recreate the scene based on a photo of a drawing that's Doodle been remembering. Oh god! Hell yeah, that's a heck of a way to jump into a stream. I don't know what it means, but I know where it goes. Something I've said many times when playing Ace Attorney. Honestly, some of my favorite cases in Ace Attorney are like, I know what doesn't fit, but I don't know where we're going with it. Because sometimes even Phoenix said that. He's like, I don't know what this means, but let's just run. Let's just run with it and see what happens. The 51st floor storeroom, only accessible by stairs, or a ladder as the case would be. Shifu, I've got it! The mighty Mozilla doll! Well done. Give it to the prosecutor over there. We insert the horn found at the orphanage into the doll. It's a perfect fit! Well, can you hear anything? Mr. Huang, it's Amy. It's been a while. I saw the news that you'd be coming to this country. I was really nervous about doing this, but I decided to send you a message. Please stop the playback. Judge Courtney? What's wrong? Stop it, now! It's a boy, your son. He's just been born. I'm sorry, that's all I wanted to tell you. His name is John Marsh. It's a fine name for him, don't you think? Marsh? Did she say John? I'll be waiting in the courtyard of the orphanage at midnight on February 9th. Even if it's just once, I want John to be able to meet you. I'm sorry if I'm being selfish, but I'll be waiting. No way! That was my... John? What's the meaning of this? Miss Courtney! John is not my biological son. He's adopted. John know about this? Of course he knew. John's mother, Amy Marsh, passed away about 5 years ago. She and I were cousins. Since we were young, we've always been really close. We were often mistaken for sisters. That's why, when she passed away, I thought it was only natural that I look after John. Also, there were circumstances which prevented me from revealing his father's identity. Never even told John his father's name. Now it's all been revealed, thanks to the recording on that doll. John's mother sent the doll to the president? Hey. John. Was he... President? Really my dad? Yes, he was. Before you were born, Amy worked as a diplomat in Zhengfa. Diplomat? That must be how she became acquainted with President Huang. Hang on! Didn't you tell me she worked at the orphanage? Yes. After returning to this country, Amy left her job as a diplomat. She always had great passion for charity work, so she began working at the orphanage.
Not so fast!
Hey, Miss Courtney. So this Amy girl, she called the president there herself, but she never showed up at the scene of the SS5 incident. What's with that? Amy couldn't make it. Apparently someone had been following her the whole night. Perhaps it was Blaze? Can't say for certain, but it's possible that was his doing. After that, Amy never got another chance to see the president again. So she died 5 years ago. The conversation must be painful for John. All right. Hey, John, you thirsty? How about I buy us both some juice? We can do it together. I'm a part of this too. I'm listening until the end. Besides, I can afford to buy my own juice. Oh, shot down by a kid. Yeah, what a way for this all to come out. Holy shit, I do feel bad for the kid, even if he is being a snot about it. Yeah, I don't think he gets thirsty. I don't think he knows what thirsty is. He's just got a carton of milk in hand at all times, two in his backpack. I think he's good. John, do you understand the reason I met with the president 2 days ago? A secret meeting from 2 nights ago. I wanted to tell him about Amy's death and that you were alive and well. But I see. That's why you couldn't tell us your reasons for meeting with the president until now. I get it. You would have had to reveal his connection with John. I brought a bouquet of lion lilies so that you would understand I truly did know about Amy. Those flowers are a dear memory to the president and Amy. The first present she received from the president was a bouquet of lion lilies. But now even he's passed away. Only he was still alive. Perhaps I could have introduced him to John. Shifu! I'm sorry to interrupt this atmosphere, but there's something I need to say. Oh, what is it now? Can't this wait? Well, actually, there's one last item that's been delivered from Zhengfa. I have here the president's will. What? President's will? My old man received a great number of special medals from the president himself. As a token of his trust, the president left his will in the protection of the Lang clan. Those medals in that will, they were the pride of our clan, our family treasures, so to speak. Where there's a will, there's a way! This is... Agent Lang, does that will have something to do with the current case? Bet it does. It says here, I hereby acknowledge John Marsh as my own son. What? John's name is in the president's will? Are you certain that will was written by the president? Yeah, he entrusted it to the Lang clan even before the SS5 incident took place. I'll have to appraise it back home, but by the name of the Lang clan, this is the real deal. Di Jun Huang was the president of an entire nation. The existence of his son would have caused considerable controversy. However, he left behind a will just in case. This makes it doubly sure. I still can't believe it myself, but there's no room for doubt. John Marsh, you are the son of Di Jun Huang, president of Zhengfa. Giant shock-looking montage. John! John! To be continued. I mean, he's a president, not a king, so it's not like John's just king. Yeah, he doesn't, like, inherit it, but, like, it sounds like it was a country that used to have a monarchy, I think that was mentioned before, so it's possible there is still some sort of royal treasures, possibly, maybe? I don't know, we don't know what a shitload about Zhengfa, though I imagine we're going to learn soon. However, I think this is where we're going to wrap it up for today, because this was a long chapter, so it seems like they're just doing a lot of long chapters now. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick this up on Monday, and as long as I've got time on Monday, we might do another long stream and see if we can just finish the game off. If not, we'll do it Monday, Tuesday, we'll see. I'm very surprised how long these chapters are. Like, usually the 5th case is very long, but usually they break it up into a lot of smaller segments, so I'm surprised at how long these have been, so I can't really predict how much we got left. We'll see. Either way, yeah, this has been a really good case so far, and it's lots of exposition, lots of twists and turns, and I still don't really know exactly where we're going, so it's going to be interesting. Excuse me. I thank everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you have fun watching. I hope you're going to be back next week as well. That birthright again? It is. It seems to be. And yes, don't forget we're currently in daylight savings time over here, so if you haven't been able to stop in at the start of the stream, it is different now thanks to that. Somebody can hit !time in chat, I'd appreciate that. Yeah, I hate daylight savings time. As a streamer, especially somebody that streams to about a 50% international audience, frustrating as hell. Thank you, Kiss, I appreciate that. That Turnabout DST again, always a shock to me, most definitely. So, we do have one last thing to do before we call it quits, and as always, that is... Let's see who all else is online. So if you're not done watching Twitch for the day, hopefully I can send you somewhere cool. I'd like the opportunity to try. So make sure to hit follow if you haven't already. That'll be the easiest way to find me next week if you'd like to stop back in. Sorry about that, Crow, but hey, good to see you. Hope you're having a good week. Hope the rest of your week is good as well. So I'm going to see who all else is live right now, and while I'm looking, there are some links in chat you might want to check out if you haven't seen them already, including a link to my Discord if you'd like to chat with the rest of the community. Feel free to jump in there. And I've also got a YouTube where I archive all of my old streams, so if you want to see what you missed from this game, if you want to see any of the old Ace Attorney games, or if you just want to see any of the games I've played in the past, feel free to jump in there. We'd love to have you, most definitely. And, I think we're going to stop in the stream of someone who is playing a game I am not familiar with, but it's definitely a retro game and I'm very curious about it. Anytime I see somebody playing a retro game I've never heard of, I'm instantly interested, so this should be cool. This should be cool. Looks like a cute little game there too. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would appreciate it if you would join us as we go ahead on a raid over to Mr. Retrograde Tom's stream. Fantastic friend of the stream, amazing streamer, big inspiration for the stuff I've been doing here. He plays a lot of retro games, particularly retro adventure games. Today he is playing a DOS game from '96 called Time Commando, which sounds all kinds of cool as it is. So, why don't you join me over there, say hi to Tom, hang out for a bit, throw him a follow if you like what he's doing. But hey, if you've got other things to do, I will just say, as I always do, have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at in the world. And I will see you folks next week for the conclusion of Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Take care of yourselves till then, everybody.